Everything's true. God's an astronaut. Oz is over the rainbow. And Midian's where the monsters live.
We're committed to this shit now.
It looks like he may commit suicide. Suicide is badass.
Shut up, all of you! I know what's happening out there. Out there, outside the earth. But it's out there. We are safe. Nothing can touch us. God has ordained this is consecrated. We are safe in this place.
Lance, can't you see the greatness in me? I'm female and male, man and woman.
I'm better than you are! Yeah, but don't you understand something? You're only half of each. I'm a whole man. So if you'll excuse me, I don't have a lot of time here. I gotta save the world.
And welcome back to our handful of people who actually watch this shit.
Hello, everybody.
Everybody.
We aim to please. We just miss a lot. Okay. We do have topics to cover. I'm gonna cover a good many topics. Of course, I like to shoot the shit, as they say, beforehand. Just to hang out. Of course, we have in chat and on panel, Midject Laxarus, or as he goes by on here, Phoenix. We have Midnight Ladybug, and we have on the chat and in the panel, Elijah. And if there are more, they have not made themselves known.
Oh, well.
So, how's everybody's weekend been?
Every time we do this show and somebody's like, how's your weekend been? I was like, there was a weekend? How the fuck did I miss it? When did I miss the weekend?
Well, don't feel by yourself.
And I'm like, it just fucking happened, but somehow I have no memory of it.
I never remember the weekend.
Okay, it's not my mind is going. It's just that weekends are fucking hectic. Weekends is when you gotta bust your ass getting everything done. And for everybody else, weekends like party time.
I don't know. I think that the weekend is just it just all kind of blurs together. It's like, where the hell did Saturday and Sunday go? Because I don't even remember those days. I mean, I know I'm not going crazy, but I just don't remember because, well, I'm so busy all the time during the weekend.
All right, it has been said, let's make some noise. So let's see what noise I got.
That's a lot of noise.
Do not test me, bitch. I will use my fist.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Hey.
Yes. And
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Looking plastic, it's fantastic.
no.
And this one's the
Dang
Phoenix.
it, Bobby. Dang it, Bobby.
That boy ain't right.
If I'm not right, I don't want to be wrong.
You stupid.
Okay, well, of course, I'm not gonna, spill the beans or talk shit on, on live about people, right? Of course not. But I will say there's been a lot of internet drama swirling around lately, and it's not been, for once, it's not been about me.
It's not us for a change.
How can that be? How can that be that I'm not the drama queen for once?
It's
How
not
can
us
this
for a
be?
change.
They're stealing my spotlight.
It's not us for a change.
Damn it, bitch, get off the stage. It's my stage.
We gotta do something.
I'm the one who's like, fuck that motherfucker. God damn, that's worthless. And it's not me this time. It's not me. It's not me.
Well, I've been so damn pissed off at people. Every now and then I'll get so damn pissed off at people that I will invent new cuss words. Have you ever been that damn pissed off at somebody that you invent new cuss words for that person, specifically for that person?
But, sometimes you're trying to get all the words out at once. Like, well, I'm not going to say them, but then you just end up going, whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, for our small amount of viewers, there's always behind the scenes stuff, that doesn't make the live shows, and that's where the neat shit happens, because the best stuff happens when you don't, have a camera broadcasting you out there to the internet. It's when the best stuff happens. It's when the juiciest tidbits get revealed too. And while I will not stir the pot, I do love hearing about the shit. I'm like, oh, tell me more. Tell me more. I want to know. Part of the reason is because they probably talking shit about me behind the scenes too. But hey, that's just the nature of it. That's just the way things are,
Well,
But yeah, I can't help but to find it entertaining.
Yeah.
well, it's like watching soap operas,
And these are the days of our lives.
Yeah, you don't want drama for yourself, but you'll sit there and watch somebody else's drama. It's the same thing,
That's exactly why the people farm this murky thing to death. Mercanti, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I like to stay informed. I'm like, hey, give me the news, what's going on. But there's people who did farm the fuck out of it. Now, that being said, the people who are directly being attacked every day, yeah, I don't blame them. Yeah, be on there bitching. Yeah, every day, they're being attacked back, right?
Yeah.
I get that. But there's other people who had nothing to do with nothing, right? That would farm the shit out of this. I'm like, God damn, get that bitch's name out of your mouth already. Because it's like, okay, I'm going to watch something else. Oh, fuck, they're doing it too. Oh, they're doing it too. Now, again, if you were actively being attacked, yeah, farm that shit, But otherwise, no, people get tired of hearing it.
Well, I think that if it wasn't being done to you directly or somebody in your family or whatever, then you really don't have a lot of reason to say anything. Not really.
There is a sense of community, right? And in this community, you want to take up for your circle, right? So there is that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, going on and on about it after months and months, it gets kind of, where you're done defending. You're not defending anymore. You're just riding the train.
Well, that's you're right. You're right, but that's the thing is like as soon as things would begin to settle down, that bitch would pop into somebody's channel or release a new attacking video and poke the bear one more time,
Oh, okay.
And then
yeah.
and then go, it's a harassment campaign. I fear for my life. Then quit fucking poking the bear if you don't want to be eaten by bears.
Yeah, I see what I get what you're saying now. I mean, yeah, now if like you said, like she'd do, it died down for a while and everybody go on about their business and she'd poke the bear again. Well, hell yeah, then it's gonna stir everybody else up, you know. So that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I on a different topic. I've put the word out there that this coming Thursday I will not have my usual show. You know, it's full of the panelists. Which those are always fun. I mean, goddamn, they're fun as everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I'll be elsewhere.
You'll be in the wild blue yonder.
Wow, what?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is that?
The ocean.
Is that like
Everywhere.
Australia or something?
No,
That's down
it's
under.
everywhere.
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 You know.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about? What the fuck was that? I'm sorry.
You'll see. It's gonna feel like that. You're gonna feel like you've been to Timbuktu and back.
I'm gonna have to look up where that shit is.
Yeah, I have no
I
idea.
think it's in Egypt. I think it's in Egypt.
Well, I'm not going to Egypt. You know, I've dealt with enough, you know, on online games of eggies or, you know.
In other words, you will feel like you've been all around the world in a short period of time.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about your voyage, your trip. You're gonna be, you know, you're gonna end up feeling like you've been all over the world.
But see, I do miss not having a full panel, and you know, I decided to have Monday shows with just the three of us because Mondays are slow. Everybody's on here like yawning and tired and like, yeah, so leave me alone, kind of, right? You get a lot of that vibe, and I don't blame them because Mondays are that way. That's understandable. But you know, I do miss having more people on because you know, I got all these like kind of insult clips for laughs, right? But you know, like this.
Get nothing but. All you fucking.
Is you know, it's funny is that woman probably sent that clip to some slut, you know, to rightfully shame them because they was probably being a slut and causing trouble, right? And they were clearly, the woman who was doing that clip was all emotional, like been crying and shit, right? And I feel bad in a way that she's like, yeah, I just talked with this young woman and I said, you're just like, oh, you know, and all this, right? And then somebody put that shit on the internet and now it's a laugh for the fucking world, right? I kind of feel bad, but it does make for a good comedy clip.
It does.
Ladybug said noise is gonna.
Wait, you misspelled Shire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You did.
I was like sire.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I was trying to read it like what?
So are you inside your sire right now?
Ew. Ew.
That's nasty.
All right. You know, in the little country town where we reside, compared to the city, it is like the Shire. But that's not to say everybody's walking around with overalls and straw hanging out of their mouth because it's not nowhere like that in America now, or virtually nowhere. Certainly not here. You know, people's like, you say Alabama and they got the fucking jokes coming out and hillbilly jokes, and it's like, God damn, have you even been to the place? Clearly, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Clearly,
Well,
because it shows you haven't even been there.
well, hillbilly comes from people that live up in the hills of West Virginia and places like that.
Yeah, but these terms become synonymous, and then
Yeah.
there's a lot of movies that make fun of the South, and sure, there is plenty of stuff to talk shit about the South, to make fun of them. There's no shortage of real stuff, right? But it's also true for California. It's also true for New York. It's true for every goddamn state in the country. There are many exceptions to that as well. Those are not the rule. Those are the exceptions. I'm saying you get some ugly people who set bad examples for the whole state or area, but that is not the rule. Those are the exceptions, those bad examples.
Yeah.
And you will, in my travels, I have learned you will find rednecks in the north, in the west. You will find rednecks any fucking where.
Yeah.
And I mean, these motherfuckers like never even been to the South, right? But they're rednecks.
Hey, they're
Yeah,
everywhere.
I wondered how that came to be. It's like you got somebody that's in the north, but they're still a redneck. I'm going, how in the hell is that possible?
Well, some would say it's down to heritage. Some studies, if you can believe those studies, will say it comes down to Scottish and Irish heritage carries a lot of that down. Some will say it's down to the smaller areas. There could be a little bit of truth in each of those things. And here we have a micro dog.
This is Malin.
Malin.
Small, fierce warrior.
Yeah, little strong warrior. It means something like that. It almost looks like it has a heart on his nose.
Yeah. He went running. He went running behind me, and I thought it was a rat, and I was about to get up and run out the door, but no, I looked, and it was him.
And this is a regular sized cat.
Quit telling people about your perfectly normal sized pussy. I mean, come on. Come on.
I keep telling him not to do that shit in public, but he doesn't listen.
Hey,
He's giving us all a bad name. Nobody wants to see your damn pussy, Phoenix.
You sound like Bon Jovi now. You get low. A bad name. Wait, how's that go? How's that go? Shot through the heart. And you're too late. You give love
a bad name.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, what's bad is I'm old enough to remember when that song came out, and it was like immensely popular. And then they started doing it in high schools for the cheerleaders, and the bands would be playing it, and they'd be playing all the loudspeakers at pep rallies, and oh, those were dreadful.
I hated it.
Whatever goodness that music had got wiped out by the fact of how widely it was adopted.
Oh. He's biting my foot. Ow! Oh, I got. Excuse me.
The troubles of having a puppy. Oh yeah, but look what her picture is there.
It's bad when even the cat kind are calling you out.
Before the stream started, I had two of them in my lap, and they started to fight.
What?
Yeah, they both wanted me on my lap, and they didn't want the other one on there.
Oh, you just keep digging that hole deeper, don't you?
You need to play the clip noise. Play the clip.
I think Angela really likes that clip.
All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your
Okay.
Yeah, Angela has to see it every time. She must love it.
You're the one that keeps playing with your pussy, not me.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. You degenerates.
It's not my fault he keeps doing it. He's doing it right now.
Hey. Quit rubbing down there. That's just wrong.
What's that? Oh, it's my Furby. Furby loves you lavender. Tickle me.
That's what he's playing with down there. His Furby.
Get you to move now. You go. There.
This is a fucking animal show.
Big Shirley.
We're a virtual zoo over here.
Good Lord. Oh, she's
Yeah.
gotten quite heavy.
Big Shirley.
Big Shirley.
Big Shirley's getting bigger.
Well, the thing is today they was doing some road work, and there was some Mexicans out there, and I had the door open, and
You're yelling out, "Andale!"
no, Nanette heard them talking to each other, and they was going, da-da-da-da-da. You know how they talk. I can't.
Okay, wait. You're yelling out, "Ice!"
No. And
We have Valkyria, Winter, Hell All, Fuda Time, and Skull.
Hey,
I'm never clear if I'm saying that right. Is it Skull or Skull? Or, I've heard it different ways. To be fair,
Skull.
Purple puppet.
I got it right here, but you guys aren't allowed to see it anymore.
What the fuck have you done to it? You have to hide that. You have to hide that little bitch away from the public. What have you done to it? Come on now, fess up. I mean, come on. What the fuck you been doing to it?
Those people like it a bit too much, so they're not allowed to see it anymore.
Is it abused? Have you been abusing it?
what?
We're not allowed to see his puppet anymore. It cannot see other people anymore. Apparently he's hiding something from us.
Oh, it's gonna need some serious therapy.
Does it have extra holes now? Is that it?
Ew. But they were.
I was gonna point out the misspelling of puppet, but I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. But no, he pointed it out himself.
Well, today the road crew was working on the road.
What have you done?
The road crew was working on the road, and Nanette heard the Mexicans talking to each other, and they had to talk loud so they could hear each other. You know how Dan talks real fast like that? They was talking to each other that way. Well, I guess she thought it was Dan out there, so she went running outside, barking and trying to get to the road crew people.
you got to tell Dan that story seriously.
Oh my God, I could hardly get her in the house. It was awful. She thought it was Dan working on the road crew, and she went running, trying to get to the road crew people.
Big Shirley.
Yeah, that's exactly what she thought.
Dog's like, I'm having me some Mexican tonight.
Next time Dan comes on the stream or in the chat or something, I'll tell him about that because it was funny.
Yeah, Big Shirley.
She swore it was Dan. I mean, she was certain it was Dan, and she went running out the back door, and then she went around to the front door and tried to get to the road crew people.
You know, Phoenix gonna get a knock on his door. It's gonna be the cops, and they're gonna like, we're doing a wellness check for Purple Puppet. we just want to see. We just want to talk to it just for a moment, and we'll leave you alone. And then they're gonna see you dragging it to the fucking door and shoving your hand up his ass. They're gonna be like, we don't think that Asswell is all right.
Well, I've told him about doing that stuff in public, but he refuses to listen, so he deserves what he gets.
Yeah, you guys have been too fascinated with that part about a puppet, aren't you?
You're the one that likes to stroke things off camera in your damn lap all the time.
And for many streams, it was more the puppet than you.
Yeah,
it got weird quick.
Everybody kept asking for it. That's why I'm not showing it anymore.
Well, it's likely, I mean, yeah, there's the gimmick and there's the comedy of it, but it's also because when we got more people on, you will hardly utter a word.
yeah, it's true. You don't talk.
So they're probably like, use your puppet and it will do the words for you.
Yeah, use your puppet to talk. This is a safe space.
And then they're like, Asswell, show us where the Batman touched you.
Okay. Asswell. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's a slow night as I expected it to be. I full well expected. Of course, I was earlier in a chat and I was like, yeah, I hope some of you come. And they're like, yeah, we'll show up, we'll watch.
Well, some more stuff could have came up.
Well, yeah, I know people like to drop in randomly and then drop back out. That's the way they do a good mini streams, and that's just, again, the nature of it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see him later on tonight.
What? Oh, yeah. You mean later during the stream?
Yeah.
I doubt the stream, I don't know. I can't say it right now, but I doubt it'll be as long as a lot of streams. For one, I am preparing for an upcoming trip, which I'm not entirely sure when I'll be leaving out. Not entirely sure. But whatever the case, yeah, it's something that has me a little distracted.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a whole caravan with us, pretty much.
What?
We're gonna have a whole caravan with us, pretty much.
You do know that a caravan is like 5 or 6 cars or trucks or buses or whatever, don't you?
I'm kind of exaggerating.
Hyperbole.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
This is all kinds of fucking awkwardness up in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Hey, a little something to get the blood circulating in the brain.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Oh, come Come on, Barbie, let's go party, 'cause I'm in a Barbie world.
What are you doing?
He just has to
Oh
check.
fuck! I thought I was in Barbie world.
You're not in Barbie world.
Oh, the fucking song was just telling me I was.
No, you weren't in Barbie world.
Yeah,
You
give
mean
yourself a little
this
bit
is
of plastic
this is not
surgery.
this is not real? This is all imagined?
Yeah.
I thought so. I thought so.
Welcome to my world. I stay in imagination land a lot.
Yeah, it's the best place to be.
I heard that, you son of a bitch.
It was a compliment.
Shit.
It just means
Smart ass.
means you're creative.
Well, I have to do something in this mundane place.
But you know, it's kind of like when women go, "I didn't lie. I changed my mind, and that's my prerogative." Yeah, there's the manipulation of logic going on there, and that's the funny thing about logic. No matter how sound, it can still be a manipulation, and that's why we have the world so at odds with one another, because they're like, "But logic, logic, logic," and we're all guilty of this, of course. But the funny thing is, you know, perspective, perception. Kind of like, you know, that classic example, somebody looking at a 6 or a 9 from different angles, right? It's binary thinking. I'm not talking about the whole sexual binary thing, but my point being is two opposing things can both be true. They're not always true, but they both can be true. So even sound logic could be a subtle manipulation, because two things opposing can very well be true depending on perspective and perception.
Well, I was going to say that.
Oh, I was there in tumbleweeds there for a moment.
No, I was going to say that people's logic, there are hard facts that cannot be argued, but on the other hand,
Swinging your pussy around.
But on the other hand, other things, it's just open to perspective in a lot of cases.
But you did hear what I was just saying, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm just saying that I'm agreeing with you, you know.
Oh, so you say the same thing I just said.
Yeah. I'm just agreeing with you.
Oh, I thought you were going to add something.
No, I was just agreeing.
Okay. Oh, hey, you know, speaking of perspectives, here's a topic, or as I like to call them, issues, because I have a lot of issues. I have an issue with virtually everything. I have an issue with everything. Which this has been covered by other people, but not by me. So here we go. Robot doll Megan moonlights as queer icon preaching transgender pride.
Oh.
This is not a surprise. I mean, after all, all these boys to girls, or whatever you want to call them, they see a doll, and yeah, of course they're attracted to this kind of thing, especially if it's a living doll. Yeah, okay, I'm not about to delve that deep into the psychology of all that. Just think on it. The movie character Megan, a robotic doll and so-called gay icon, is now being promoted as a supporter of the LGBTQ community. What? Attitude magazine, which calls itself the best-selling gay magazine, Megan appeared as the cover feature. The queer community has been huge Megan fans from the outset. Why do you think that is? Megan responded. Because I'm stunning, scary, and graceful. And because queer people have always had impeccable taste. I think it is, perhaps they want a little girl doll of their own for whatever reasons. I'm not gonna speculate. The interviewer then asked, At this time, when they need our support, what is your message to the dolls, aka our trans sisters? Transistors. The doll replied, to my beloved dolls, you are radiant, revolutionary, and real. Your existence is not a debate, and I will use my platform to amplify your beauty and power. Yeah, this doll indeed wants to kill us all.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This, I'm offended by this.
We're
I
all
am.
offended by this.
Well, because this damn thing does not speak for me at
Doesn't
all.
speak for me either. I mean, I'm straight.
Period.
I'm straight, right? But it does not speak for me.
Oh, there's Dan.
Hey Dan.
Hey, Dan, did you hear the story I was telling about Big Shirley and the road crew?
Yeah. This I was gonna say it'd be like if Chucky was for the pro whatever the thing is.
No,
But then I
I
thought
thought you said Tucky, and you're talking about Chucky. And I'm like
Yeah.
Tucky. So okay, Chucky is now tucking it. Oh no, it's Chucky! Run!
Hey, these days I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Welcome, Dan, of course.
doing the whole Buffalo Bill thing.
It was not clear from the interview who actually provided these answers for Megan. And you know why? Because it is not a real killer doll. It is somebody behind it. And I guess they got approval to say this stuff.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that they don't speak for everybody in the gay community, and I wish to motherfucking God they would quit acting like everybody that is gay is a part of that community, because it's absolutely not true. Most gay people hate that community because that community is a bunch of nut jobs. And that's the truth.
When I was a kid, when I was about 10 or 11, I was visiting with my sister. She's a lot older, right? And she said to me that I think like something on TV or something about a gay pride. And this was quite a long time ago, right? And she's like going, oh, I support them. And of course, times were different then, because you didn't say you supported that unless you were one of them. And I'm like, what? You're gay, but you're married. And then she goes, well, I'm not gay, but I support them. And I was like, oh, that's weird, but I get it. But you gotta understand, this was back before they were doing all the crap that they do. Yeah, if somebody's like naturally gay, yeah, you don't. I mean, back then they might have been beaten to death for it. You don't want to make their life hell for it, because it's just a natural state for them. And this is when their parades weren't full of nudity and dancing children and stuff. So back then I was like, okay, you're making a statement, trying to get people to accept that it's all right for you to be gay. And back then I was like, yeah, I can see that. Right? But not today with everything they're doing, and not today when they're just growing like a fungus into the media, the games, the comics, the movies, the everything, and they're just getting their tendrils and everything taking hold to the point where they're going, if you're not one of us, get out. We don't want you. It's even in the software, the people who make the software. That has gone way too far. It's like, okay, it's okay if you're gay. You can marry each other. You can be like any of us. It's okay. We're okay with it. That's not enough. They want to get rid of people like me. And here I am going, but I said I was okay. There's no problem. You're just like anybody. Why are you doing this to me now? And this is just another symptom. They're trying to infiltrate everything.
Well, what's going to happen, and it's going to take a long time to happen probably, but what's going to happen is it's going to roll over and be like it was when I was a kid, and being gay will be a very dangerous thing, you know.
Yes, they do want to feel special, but here's the thing: either everybody's special or nobody's special. And once you grow the fuck up and become an adult, that's a hard lesson to learn, but you will learn it if you ever reach that point of adulthood, you know, mentally wise, you know,
Well, the
mental
thing is,
and emotional adulthood. And by the way, welcome R2
hi
Hey,
R2.
R2D2.
But the thing is when somebody calls you special, I don't know. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It makes you, it's kind of like they're calling you retarded. You know?
But you know, I've seen all this in the pagan community too. The vast majority of them, I mean, some of them may have been like, you know, they were literally into it, but the vast majority of them was just going, oh, I've watched the movie The Craft and I'm like that. I'm so cool. I'm special. We got this special little club and we like, you know, I wear this pendant for it. And, you know, and they were posers is what they might have called them back then. Posers. And now there's the whole, you know, woke movement, you know, for lack of a better term. I can't help but to wonder how many people who aren't actually that way but go along with it because it puffs up the pride so immensely. Also, they feel they have to, or they're gonna have they're gonna make an enemy out of so many people. Because it's like, if you're not one of us, get the fuck out. We don't like you, we don't want you.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think a lot of people go along with it because they're scared not to.
Hey, great way to be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go along with that because they're afraid not to, because if they don't, then their whole lives are ruined. You know? So yeah, I can understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. It's like, well, what's happening? What? Oh, I'm sorry. I read that comment and I got tickled.
Okay, listen. When you're drinking and you reach that point where your scalp or your face and lips go numb, quit, because it's about to hit you like a freight train.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Eat some bread, R2. Eat some bread to soak up some of that alcohol. Eat some bread or crackers or something. Don't drink water. Don't drink no water. You'll get worse.
Yeah. Also, do like that says, like and subscribe and share and hey, donate too. Donate, yeah.
Yeah, donate.
But
Oh, it reminds me, I do have a you call it Cash App donation. Now let me type it in here.
but yeah, I do think that
I'm busy.
I do think that a lot of people join that community out of fear. And that goes back to around 1942, where there were a lot of people that were joining a certain regime, not because they agreed with it, but because they were scared not to. It's all about that kind of thing. It's fear mongering.
Yeah. I know a few months back I seen a pagan kind of get together to celebrate, like it was a Valentine's thing. But I started reading the post. Turns out they're all gonna go in the woods and basically just have a giant orgy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I seen that. It was an orgy get together. It's like, why have the pretense of anything else? You know, unless it's, oh, we can't say let's all just meet up for an orgy. We're gonna have to put it under religious thing, maybe, or spiritual. I don't know, right? But I don't know the legality of it either way. It's like, oh,
And it was just a few towns over, and it was heavily pagan in it and heavily LGBTQ, whatever it is in it.
so everybody, I've posted here. You can give me a donation through this Botrix link. That goes through PayPal. But then, secondly, that I have Cash App, which actually accepts Bitcoin. I've been told, and that is the $ Calatros, KALATROS. Yeah, I have a shitload of online names, bunch of different names, but whatever the case. So those are two ways. Also, you can come over to Rumble and hit that gift sign or that $, you know, do a Rumble rant, buy membership. There's multiple ways that you can support us people here who stumble our way through trying to entertain you all. We may be bad at it, but fuck, we try.
We try.
But yeah, I would just like to know who they got to do the speaking for this Megan thing. And I call it a thing because it is a thing. It's not a living person.
Oh, it could have been some intern. You don't know, but you can bet it was somebody 25 or younger.
Yeah. But
You know, I get now why politicians are generally older. While I do agree that they're often too damn old, you know, I mean, we don't need no 80 to 90-year-old trying to run the country. There should be a limit there.
Yeah.
But I do get the why I used to go, you know, why don't they have younger people? But yeah, younger people just do not use good judgment, and they're easily manipulated and influenced. And that's something you learn once you get older. How, you know, the serious lack of judgment that even a 30-something-year-old might have. And when you're in your 30s, like, no, I got my shit together, I can handle anything, and I know what I'm talking about. Then your 50-year-old self and be like, you goddamn baby, shut the fuck up, sit down, you're embarrassing yourself.
well, I think the youngest that you can be is like 35. I think.
Yeah, I remember them bragging about Bill Clinton, unless I'm mistaken, saying he was the youngest president, and he'd be on there playing a saxophone. Remember all that?
Yeah. But he didn't run nothing. His wife did.
Oh, as you know, as power hungry as Hillary is. Yeah, I could see that. She probably, like, every time had her hand up there twisting his balls like this, motherfucker. You do what I say, word for word. You don't say a word unless I say it. And he starts to yank, twist, yank.
Well, I remember reading.
Her other hands like this.
Well, I remember reading when she was running for president that him and her would get into these knockdown, drag out fights because he would try to tell her, "Look, you can't talk to people the way you're talking to them. You know, you're gonna make everybody hate you." And she would just bitch him out like every damn thing, and he would get so mad he would throw his phone off of his balcony.
You know, a lot of people would say, especially people who was paying attention, when she was running for president, if she would have shut her mouth, she would have stood a much better chance of winning. Because every time she got up there and spoke, it's like she just dug a hole for herself. It's like, you know, just to guarantee a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I have to echo this sentiment. Rock and roll.
but yeah, I mean, every time she opened her mouth to speak, I mean, she was insulting the shit out of everybody. I was like, well, why in the hell am I going to vote for this woman? I can't even stand to hear her talk. Because every time she talks, she insults people.
I have not really ever seen any politician as genuine that as genuine, who appeared genuine to me. Now, sure, there was Bernie who rocked the boat, and there was Trump who rocked the boat. Some ways similar ways, and other ways different ways. But those are two that you look at, they're rocking the boat. That's a big no-no in their, communities or whatever, right? So yeah, right off, you're like, you got my attention right off because they're rocking the boat. They're saying things they shouldn't be saying.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, I've never seen a fit president or presidential person who runs for president. I was suddenly at a loss for words there, but so I'm picky. I'm a picky motherfucker. First of all, I think that not have to be rich. And
Yeah.
I would go so far as to say, if you're gonna be a president, you're not allowed to be super rich, because then who are you representing?
Well,
Exactly.
I've always had the thought that, like you said, it would be real good if somebody that was running for president was just a regular person, because a regular person knows how the shit is for other regular people,
The word I was looking for was presidential candidate, but it had slipped my mind.
I mean, they could even, have, I know it costs, I don't know how much it costs to run for president, but I know it's a lot. So,
Well, they kept ramping up the cost until now you must be a millionaire to run, or to have that kind of force behind you to draw that kind of money. And it wasn't that way maybe 20 years ago.
yeah. Hi, Miss
That
Sparkles.
That cat sleeping in a weird position.
He's a weird cat.
It is in a weird position. I agree, but I don't think it's okay. The top one sleeping in a weird position. The bottom one is just in a weird position.
Well, I keep moving the cat. It keeps moving back.
What are you doing to those cats to condition them in that way?
Not doing anything to them.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
really?
Well, you can pretend all you want to, Phoenix. We all know the truth.
Hey, don't make me play the pussy clip again.
It's going back for more.
Yeah. Hey, Miss
I'm
Sparkles.
just teasing.
What are you doing? You're getting very popular, you know that?
Oh, Lord.
Am I the only one confused by that statement?
R2D2.
Okay. R. Like a pirate? What's going on? It says, I like his exercise machine in front of the TV.
Hey, it's the best way to do it. Get some music going, watch those music videos go, and just keep running.
Or you like watching porn and running and oh yeah, I think that PORN word is one of the words deemed that you're not supposed to say on YouTube.
Yeah.
Damn, I hate being treated like a toddler by big tech.
Yeah. Well, it's going to come a time when anybody that's not of the LGBTQ community won't be able to use technology. They'll have to create their own.
I just recalled, I looking at X/Twitter, and there's a lot of people on the right side of things, politically right, that have grown to hate any Native American statements. So they're like your land wasn't stolen, it was conquered. And I read the comments, and it was like hundreds of people like just spewing hate, right? And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. If we're using that logic, when a gang of black people beat your ass and do whatever else they're gonna do to you, did you just have something stolen from you, or were you just conquered? When you have immigrants running your city, literally, they're the mayor now. All the stores are in different languages. You can't walk the street. They're telling you, why aren't you wearing a hijab or whatever the fuck they call them, right? And then they're taking over. Did they steal something from you, or did they conquer you? I'm just saying, it's funny logic that seems you only seem to want to apply it one way, but not when you're in the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is there's not enough natives anymore left that can raise a fuss about that kind of stuff.
Or the cops beat your ass, strip search you, beat your ass, throw you in a cell. You lost your job. You may have lost your family over it. They took your belongings. Did you lose something, or were you conquered?
Let's go conquer someone.
No.
Yeah, we just take all the shit, beat their ass, and it's like, nah, motherfucker, you didn't just get mugged or beaten or nothing. You just got conquered.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Miss Sparkles.
Yeah, that says the natives in my area are the worst. No, I don't doubt it. Well, there's plenty of bad people, no matter the race. Plenty of bad, plenty of good. As for the Native Americans, I've been on a good many reservations myself. Spent a lot of time on them, and you see good and bad. But the country has kind of put them in that position. But that's a whole long thing I'd have to get into to really dig into that topic, which I'm not prepared for, and I don't think I have the time for. But yeah, sure, somebody is like that, trashy, whatever. Sure, it's on them, but it's also on the environment that they've been put under, and the natives have had less choice than the rest of the people in the country about it.
Oh.
No, I don't agree with that. This whole, I demand you change this in the name of blah blah blah. I don't agree with that, but I would say that's not a native thing. That's a woke mind virus thing. That's a liberal thing, because you have people of all colors doing that. So I would say in that particular case, they may be using being a Native American, say, name it something Native American. But if it was feminist, they'd be going, name it something that is not toxic. And if it was blacks, they would be saying, name it after this black name. So it's a woke problem in that instance anyway.
Oh. She said, no, it's a native woman who runs it and is changing it back to native names. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's liberalism going wild, because, like the examples I was just giving, they're just running under the name of, I'm a Native American, and that's why I can do it.
A lot of
times,
fuck
that.
A lot of times
you can't justify going, fuck the Native Americans, because a certain number of them is bought into wokeism or liberalism.
A lot of times you get people that claim to be native and they're not, but they claim to be, and they'll do the whole 9 yards, go to the tanning bed and get real dark and then dye their hair black and change their eye color and the whole 9 yards. Well, so that does happen too.
I do Yeah, it does. I've seen that. And then claim they were always native, which would be bullshit. But in the southern states, for the ones I could speak about, they lean toward Trump. They went directly with Trump. I mean, I'm not agreeing with that necessarily either, because I think people should do more critical thinking and not just all flock this way or that way. But my point being is they're more right-sided in the southern states on those reservations.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the res is here. I mean, it's full on Republican, right-leaning people, and it's like I don't know what happens to people when it comes to stuff like that, but they want to cheerlead too much, you know?
If they want reparations, they need to be asking Africa.
Yeah.
Because to my understanding, the white people didn't just go in there and went, round them up, let's get as many of them as we can. It was like, hey, they're selling people. Let's buy some. Maybe we'll get some shit done.
Well,
sure they treated them the worst once they did buy them, but it was not like they went to Africa and went, let's just start grabbing them.
Well, back at that time, that indenturement was a common cultural practice. I mean, it went from.
Let me just point out what R2 Lee2 says here. The UK is in a bad state too. The difference is the natives here ain't allowed to say shit. Natives, as in British, like natural white blood British people, and yes, they're not allowed to say shit. They are getting, if you will, conquered, you know, and they're not allowed to do anything. You know, you got a lot of people right now is going, shut up about Native American stuff. We conquered you and you need to get over it. Okay, motherfucker, look around. Don't you see what's happening? How about when you say, get these Latinos out of our country, round them up, ICE, round them up. About when you're going, the Muslims is getting to be too much. Are you fuckers blind? You can see no correlation of what's going on there? Why don't you just get over it because you're being conquered? Just get over it. You're being conquered.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Roadkill.
Hey, Roadkill.
That's a good question. I don't know where the fuck I am either. When I get on here and I'm in front of a camera, I am mesmerized and I lose my fucking brain. I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing again? Oh yeah, people are talking. What the fuck are they talking about? Okay, let me say something on it. And then I get over here and I'm like, God damn, my day's just been stolen from me. Or was it conquered?
Well, I will say this. It would not do for me to be in the UK because I would be in jail very quickly.
I say it's not my fault. We won. It's not really a matter of winning. It's not like a certain kind of people came to this land and there was a big battle and they won it. They poured in from every part of the world. It was, even if there was no fights, say there was no fights, they would have become the default people just by pouring in.
Well, you know what I find?
Just like Muslims are pouring into certain countries. Even if there's not a shot fired or a fist thrown, that's not exactly the way it went down. I mean, sure there was fights. Yes, there was fights, but you're missing 90% of the picture there.
Well, the thing is what's happening now is what happened to the Native Americans back hundreds of years ago. And every country and every nation of the world has been conquered at some point in time more than once. And that's what's happening here. Same thing. The government has found out that it is to their benefit to let everybody just fight it out amongst themselves instead of wasting the money or the time to do it the old-fashioned way. And no, Miss Sparkles, nobody should have white guilt. I mean, that's stupid. And
Oh no, no, I'm not saying that at all. Actually,
No.
I'm saying there shouldn't be any. I'm not going, oh, you know, the Native Americans and everything needs to be changed, and I'm not saying anything like that. All I'm saying is people are developing an odd hatred toward the Native Americans. You still have to, not have to, but in my opinion, you should still sympathize. You shouldn't be like, well, fuck you, you're conquered, and that's your problem, and we won, and fuck you. But it's like, god damn, you're an ignorant, hateful piece of shit, aren't you? Because first of all, it didn't exactly go that way. And secondly, look around at what's happening right now, and you're not taking that same attitude. You know, good for the goose, good for the gander. You've heard that, or the pot calling the kettle black, and all those. You know, that's a big leap in logic.
And he's not talking about you personally. He's just talking about other people that you know.
Yeah, I am speaking in generalizations.
Yeah. But I do know something that's a misnomer about, I mean, for the reses here. Yeah, they get casinos. However, what they don't tell people is only certain families have the rights to those casinos. The money does not get split up amongst the tribe. You know what I mean? It stays within certain families. So certain families get the money off of that, and everybody else, well, they're shit out of luck.
Wait, I want to point out a $1 donation from Cheap Ass Roadkill 101.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, every little bit counts. Thanks for the donation. Let's see. What you get for $1 is this. Okay, so I get what you're saying, but what about what they say to us to get this reaction to them? Of course they shouldn't be like, oh, you need to rename this, rename that. Of course I don't agree with that. Fuck that. That's just liberalism going out of control. That's nonsense. But to come back to hating a race for it when it's just some fucking liberal women in most cases, and then to start heaping on hate and going, shut up, motherfucker, you were conquered, get over it. That is some straight up fucking ignorance.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can hate on feminism, hate on liberalism, but the hate on, I mean, a whole race. I mean, you haven't been to many reservations to see how things usually, or you know, or largely are.
Well, I know I read, this has been years ago, but I read where the Cherokee, some tribes of the Cherokee Nation was kicking all the black people out of their tribe. And these,
Well, there's
and
a story
you know,
behind that. They supported them, you know, when the whole slavery thing, they're like, no, these black people are part of our tribe, so they don't get, you know, so they're not slaves. And then hundreds of years went by and they're like, well, slavery's not a problem anymore, but they're still claiming our tribe and they're still claiming whatever rights they can get out of it. So we're going to take them off.
mhm.
And of course that upsets some people.
Yeah, I gotta say
Well,
we got a $50 donation on PayPal.
Oh,
I
well,
would say
now
who it
here-
is, but they have their own name on there, and so
yeah.
yeah.
Well, now here's the thing about
Send to
that.
me in a private chat.
Here's the thing about that. I can understand not want any new people to come into their tribe, you know, from the black community and all that stuff. But now the people that were born there, that had always been there for hundreds of years, their families and stuff. I mean, because that's all they know, you know.
Okay, thanks Roadkill for the 50. Let me give you a clip for that. Yeah, I'm slow on these clips, but see what I'll play 3. I interrupted it. And I know this is your favorite, so here you go.
Me! Choose me! Love me!
She needs to eat some butter beans and cornbread or something. I'm telling you.
I want to address this. They tell us they tell about stolen land and they hate us. Some do. Most don't. Some do. Now, like I said, I spent a good amount of time on reservations, southern ones in the least, and they want unity. They want to be recognized, you know. But most don't hate you. I'll also say there does exist treaties. There does exist lands that are solely native owned still, and there were more until the government did take them. And this is not ancient history. They did look up the maps as the years progressed and watch the native land shrink. That's because even through the 18, in some case 1900s, they were still forcefully taking land even after treaties that were signed by presidents. So yeah, there is absolutely stolen land. That is why we have small little reservations now, whereas before they had half of certain states.
Well, you know,
when I say half of certain states, I mean that was agreed upon by the president of the country and the representatives of the nations.
Well, I know that on a lot of reses, you get the ones that
Valkyrie Winter hates when dudes turn him down for $1.
But I do know that a lot of reses, you get the ones that live closer to town, and those are the white natives. You know, they're not really white, but that's what they call them. And then you get the ones that live further out and they don't like the ones that live near the town. Okay. And it's a whole dynamic political bullshit kind of stuff, you know, on a lot of reses. Not all, but a lot.
Well, you know, when you have, say, black feminists, you know, black liberals complaining, you don't start putting down Africa then. You know, you go, hey, you're a person, you happen to be black, and we hate this liberal shit you're throwing out. So even if this shit they're throwing out is black versus white. So I gotta show this. For 100 Valkyrie Winter, Roadkill, you poor. Plus, Fuda with femboy time. Hell yeah, thick females too.
Okay, now look, you got to play the woman with her booty.
And then he's like, God damn it, Val.
You got to play the one where I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. That one. You know what I'm talking about? I like the first one.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know, for 100. I mean, he can request the snatch, and I'll play the ponies. I'll play that for the 100.
Oh,
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Oh, come on, Barbie, let's go party, 'cause I'm in a Barbie world.
R2, I am the same way. I was perfectly content not thinking about futas too.
Yeah.
I do not have a Fuda clip, and I will not be acquiring one.
Oh God, no! Oh wait, yes you do. The oh God damn it!
No, I don't.
Yes you do. The Anna Nicole Smith clip. That's the closest thing to a futa, isn't
Oh,
it?
okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. The closest thing. Let me find it here. Okay. For the 100, he deserves some extra clips.
I used to think Anna Nicole Smith was so pretty.
Roadkill, there's like Luke and Darth Vader. I'm your father. No.
Yeah. I know they donated over $100, but we can't do 3 shows this week. Are we going to do 3 shows next week, or how's that going to work?
What?
I was like,
Wait, what?
fuck your hat.
Yeah, they love this thing.
What?
Okay. When we get like 50 in a week, we put on an extra show. But I'll have to do it next week because I'll be on the road.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Okay.
There we go. Oh.
On the road. She went on the road.
Yeah. On the road again.
Hey, Elijah, who sings that song?
Willie Nelson.
Well, let's keep it that way.
Oh, stop. I like Willie Nelson.
Some of his stuff's okay, but I never got big into him.
My dad used to play a lot of Willie Nelson songs.
You know, I remember it came out when I was a kid, but I remember I always thought it was funny as fuck. It's supposed to be like a sad song, I think, but looking for love and all. Wait, that was somebody else, wasn't it? Looking for love in all the wrong places, or somebody else sing that one?
I think it was
somebody else sang it.
It sounds kind of like Willie Nelson, but yeah, I think it was somebody else technically. But I remember that came out, and I always thought it was funny as fuck. You know, I'm like, where the fuck are you looking?
I'm gonna have to look up and see who does it.
Johnny Lee.
Yeah, Johnny Lee. What's
worse? By the way, according to Roadkill.
Oh, okay.
He tested them. He found out for sure.
oh, nothing puts things into perspective like that song. Save my life. I'm going down for the last time.
Oh shit! Yeah, I made. You know, I had thought about literally going into comedy before, right? And I'd made this bit around this thing that I had read, but I don't think I want to get into that right now. But it is fucking hilarious.
Yes, let me tell it. You gonna let me tell it, or should I not? Should I wait?
Well, it might be better if we have a full group first.
We'll save it.
Okay.
Yeah. But when you do it, you should clip it and make it on one of those reels or whatever YouTube calls theirs.
When you do it.
Shorts or,
shorts.
Yeah, when you do it. Yeah, I don't know if Miss Sparkles is still here, but I didn't mean to come off wrong in our response. I was just trying to explain from different perspectives.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to come off abrasive.
Yeah. But you know, back to what we were talking about, I think that people's minds get skewed because of all this political stuff they get bombarded with all the time.
Well, you get blasted with social media, right? Social media is typically political. And you're seeing this crap and seeing this crap and seeing this crap, and you're going, all Native Americans are blah, 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 blah. Fuck them. They got conquered. They need to get the fuck over it. It's like, how many reservations have you been on? Because you're just seeing activists blasting shit at you.
Yeah.
I get how they can come to that conclusion, but it's why I appreciate critical thinkers, is because you need to dig into it a little more to see what's really happening.
Well, I mean, that'd be like us going to Africa, saying some really political shit and expecting, people to be okay with it, demanding names changed and all that stuff. It's like, no, you don't do that shit, you just don't do that kind of stuff.
No, I don't agree with that. Here in the South, there is a lot of towns and yeah, primarily towns that's named after Native American words. Of course, they got transformed a little bit in the conversion with English speakers trying to speak them. But take, for example, Tuscaloosa, I think, is a Native American word.
In Mississippi, I think.
Yeah, it may be. I'm not sure, but it likely is. I mean, a lot of Native words are kind of long and convoluted like that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm not demanding anybody change any names or anything. Yes, the natives were wronged, and I do not agree with these political activists. I think they're fucking insane. I do think the Native Americans should be appreciated more. I think the treaty should be upheld. They are still, even with centuries old treaties, they're still stealing from them. And people are like, you're conquered, get over it. And it's like, okay, you get your ass beat in the streets, you just got conquered. Muslims pouring in your country, or you're just getting conquered. Shut up, get over it. You're just getting conquered. It happens. That's a shitty way to look at it, That's you're just being an ass.
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference than somebody having an opinion and somebody just being an ass.
We got to like and repost it. Thank you, Hatredy, otherwise, AK known as the Goon Room. Mikey, thank you very much.
Hey, Mikey.
Thank you, Mikey. Mikey's something else. I'm telling you, he is something else. But that's like when they were blowing up the pipeline and shit, and it was like, why? It doesn't make any sense, because the government is sitting back. And I'm not even talking about the main branches of government. I'm talking about the government that's over the government. They're all sitting back having a big laugh about all this bullshit, because they ain't got to do nothing. All they got to do is put out some propaganda, and somebody's going to believe it. Somebody with enough money to go put behind it, and it spreads like wildfire, and people fight amongst themselves, and they're not paying attention to the real stuff that's going on. That's my opinion,
Yeah, and as far as pure blood Native Americans, there's not that many left, and that's why you don't hear much out of them. When you do hear things, it's usually these people with feminism behind it, and they're using social media to look a lot bigger than they are. There's very few complete natives left. I speak a little bit for them because I have a lot of native in my bloodline, but I got a lot of Irish too, I'm a mutt, but I've spent a lot of time on reservations. I've learned what's what, and I learned how it really is, not what, some fucking activists are putting out there on social media.
Yeah, I mean, you can't believe nothing them activists say because they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and that's the truth. And I guess I'm putting my age out there, but that's an old saying. You don't know your ass from a hole in the ground.
That saying always kind of confused me because you can step in a hole in the ground, but how often you step in your ass?
I
There's
don't know.
another
I don't
saying
know.
about sticking your head up your ass. So I don't know. Maybe they got confused.
That goes back to that.
You know, there was something that these, some dumbass rednecks said in the 90s. They started saying, you'd go, hey, where's this or where's that? I'm looking for this or that. They'd go, if it was up your ass, you would know it. And then they'd all laugh like fucking hillbilly rednecks, piss me the fuck off. I'm like, that has got to be the most ignorant ass. What? That's not even clever. What the fuck? Why are you laughing? You just made yourself look like an idiot and you're laughing.
It makes no sense. I never understood that saying either. I don't get it.
I do tend to now and then take up for the South, but I have no shortage of hatred for dumbass rednecks. Believe me.
Oh my God. If we got started on all the bullshit that goes on around here, we'd be talking from now on because there's a lot. There's just a lot of bullshit, bullshit sayings. And if you weren't just from the South, I mean the rural South, you wouldn't know what in the hell them people were talking about. It's like, what the fuck are you saying? This makes no goddamn sense. How am I supposed to decipher this bullshit? But it is what it is. Every area's got their weird hang-ups and shit.
Yeah, I may take up for the Native Americans, but that doesn't mean, oh, they're all blessed and holy. Fuck no. Take up for the South sometimes, but yeah, there's plenty of ignorant, fat, dumb rednecks. No shortage of them. No shortage of drunk asshole natives or activists from anywhere, no matter your race or location. Just because I take up for a certain type of people doesn't mean I absolve them all. Fuck no, I don't.
Well, I mean, what a lot of people do is they romanticize a certain group of people, and that's a dangerous thing because you got good people in every group and you got assholes in every group too. So they're just people, they're not magical and mystical and all this kind of shit. They're just people like everybody else. And that's
I had a girlfriend one time, I told her I was part native, right? And this bitch is like, and you live in a house? And it's like, yeah. He's like, I thought you'd live in a teepee. And this bitch was serious, right? This is full on serious. So I thought you'd live in your teepee. Your people live in teepees. They act like if you say you're native, like you're a fucking unicorn.
It's like, yeah, your people lived in teepees hundreds of years ago, but shit, you want air conditioning now, shit.
A lot of them lived in longhouses.
Yeah.
Which, essentially shaped somewhat like a trailer, mobile home trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But they were made up of, I couldn't tell you exactly, but they were structurally sound for the most part.
Yeah. They lived in longhouses in the winter, and they lived in wigwams in the summer.
Yeah, wigwams, teepees were often so they could pick up and take off with them, because whether it be the changing of the seasons or a warring tribe come in, or whatever the case, made the inhospitable the area so they could leave. And that's why DNA tests cannot tell if you're a North American native, because they moved around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the DNA tests are done is based on location.
Yeah. Well, I know that a lot of natives they married the Viking people. That wasn't an uncommon thing.
As the Norse people, I mean, I'm not saying I know everything on it, but I know facts here and there. The people of that area, they have something they call the yoik, which is drums and music and chanting. And it is my belief, in the least, that came from Native Americans, because it's unlikely they both had virtually identical celebrations, you know, rituals, what have you, from being on separate ends of the world.
Well, you know, the natives, they traveled a lot, and they used the waterways as their highways and stuff a lot of times. And they went all over the damn place. They didn't just stay here in the United States. They went all over the place. They went to Samoa and down to South America, and everywhere.
They now claim that Christopher Columbus never actually came to America. I don't know if it's true, probably, but whatever the case, at that time, America, with the Native Americans, had ports where boats would come and go, and they traded with them. The place was not discovered.
Yeah.
But then some people got the idea, hey, let's move over there. And they're like, hey, and the natives are like, we've been noticing, we're cool with you, we'll help you. We've been teaching you how to farm and what to eat, what not to, and we've been making sure you can survive, but we can't help but notice there's more of you now. And there's been more every day. And they were probably like, well, we can't help what the Italians do. We're British. And then, you know, and it kept going like that, right? People from all over the world started pouring in. So even if there wasn't a shot fired, it was a slowish pouring in of people from all around the world. And even if there was not a shot fired, you know, the natives didn't stand a chance.
Mm-mm. Well, another reason for that is a lot of the native tribes did not want to. I mean, this was like way after the settlers came from Europe and all over the world. I'm talking like in the 1800s and stuff. They did not want to work with each other. The native tribes did not want to work together. A lot of them didn't, because some of the war chiefs were telling us, like, hey, we got all these people coming in and we got to do something. And a lot of the war chiefs said, no, we can take them by ourselves. It's like one, I think it was Sitting Bull or somebody, but anyway, they said, are you insane? That there's more of these people than the stars. How can one tribe defend each other? You know, we have to work together, but they didn't want to do that.
Wasichu Wichampi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they didn't want to work together, so that's one reason why they got done the way they did, you know. But oh no, Charlie, oh no.
So, okay. Charlie Nuclear seems to think I am a digital smut peddler. No, I'm joking, but I don't know. Should I play the clip?
No,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, doesn't his digital currency there mean anything?
It has to mean something. I mean, he keeps sending it.
Okay, I'm prepared. You can play it. I'm prepared.
I'll give it some time, if you know, to see if anybody like really doesn't want it played.
Get money
Okay.
or play it.
I feel like the relevancy of this ancestry stuff is questionable in the modern day, especially when it's being used to justify unequal treatment of people. Absolutely. Also, remember, history is written by the winners.
Yeah.
Remember that. Which, if you don't get what that means, that's not going, yay, we're winners, we wrote the history. It means you're a bunch of fucking liars. You paint shit to make you look good. And whether that be natives, whether that be Africans, whether that be British, don't matter. The winners generally paint such a picture to make themselves look golden.
Mm-hmm. You're right. The ancestry stuff is questionable now because everybody is so damn mixed anyway. It doesn't matter anymore. But I think the activists, the ones that want to do this kind of thing, they're using that platform as a tool to be bullies to everybody else. And that's not right. That's not fair either,
So fuck these activists, no matter the race or whatever, any of those modifiers. It doesn't matter. Fuck these activists. I don't even care what side you're an activist for, because I'm calling for common decency and common sense rather than we're here to push this gigantic agenda.
Yeah, that's like there's a campaign going around right now.
Actually, what it makes me think of is in I think it was Mississippi, and I don't know, it seems like it was another state. I don't recall the other state, but in 2 states, they're actually trying to pass a law that is like a $1,000 fine if you ejaculate without the purpose of trying to conceive.
Oh my fucking God.
That's gonna be
clearly that falls on the right. Fuck that activism shit. Fuck that. I'm here for common sense, common ground, common decency. That's what I'm about.
Yeah.
They get that shit from the Bible where it says it's a sin to waste your seed.
Yeah, it's better to spill your seed into a whore than onto the ground or something. That's roughly. It's paraphrasing.
That's where they get that from.
But I'm gonna give it a countdown like of a minute or so, and then I'll play the snatch clip unless someone here like really doesn't want it to be played.
Well,
and I'm not speaking to anyone specific. I'm anyone.
Accuse the Monty Python song. Every sperm is sacred. We get copyright stricken. But there's a campaign going around where people are calling for the extinguishing of pugs. And I'm going, excuse me, all brachycephalic breeds, boxers, pugs, French bulldogs, the whole line of those kinds of dogs.
If you wanted a softer approach, you would say no more purebreds, but it's got to be you breed them with something that slowly breeds it out of them.
Yeah. Well,
that I could come closer to agreeing with rather than like put them all down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, pugs didn't start out looking the way they do now. I mean, they were bigger and more slender and had longer snouts. R2 said, "It's okay, Elijah. I'm singing it in my head right now." Oh, God. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does stuff like that. I mean, the other day I was cleaning the house and I had the Muppets theme running through my head. So I'm going, where the shit is this coming from? But there it was. It's like, okay, I'm just going to go with it.
Okay, Charlie Nuclear, are you ready? You ready for this?
Wait a minute. Okay.
And that's all you get for free.
I heard them. I forgot to take my earphone I heard the music. Oh, God.
Everybody, welcome Killer J Plays with himself.
Hi,
Jay.
Killer J.
I
Almost
take it you
called
play
him.
video games, but you know what they say about assumptions, right?
I almost called him Violent J.
And there goes Charlie Nuclear all over the place, just all over. He's painting the wall.
Get the disinfectant. But I'm not sure I know. I'm not sure I know Killer J.
Charlie, no!
Get the
What have you done,
disinfectant.
Charlie? It's like that clip, you know, where it goes, Charlie bit my finger. I don't know how many of you know that clip, but anyway.
R2 says he'll get the mop. He'll get the mop.
Why does it glow?
That's
Oh
a
my
very
goodness.
good question.
Because he's nuclear. He's radioactive.
I can see Charlie Nuclear waiting for that snatch clip. He's like this.
You know, I've seen that thing so much, I feel sorry for it. It's true. Yeah, I do. I feel sorry for it. I want to take care of it. It needs some love. It needs some attention. I want to take care of it, you know, put a little deity on it.
You've lost your mind. You've lost your goddamn mind, Charlie.
Well, it's the truth. I've seen it so much. I want to take care of it. You know, make it a little bed.
Just have a look at you at night.
Okay, you bunch of fucking weirdos.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I know what I gotta say.
You fuckers need to repent!
Yes, Ladybug, I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You know, I can see Michael Jackson just broken into place, right? And he's looking at the mail, Annie, and then she comes in and he like clobbers her on the head, and then he just starts dancing around and going, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? And she's playing dead. She's like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Why won't he get out of here?
He's doing all his dance moves and everything.
You've been hit by smooth criminal. Like, just get the fuck out. Charlie, you out your goddamn mind.
I hear that a lot too. I hear that quite often myself.
So they like to call you Charlie?
No, they tell me I'm out of my goddamn mind.
Maybe you should listen.
I'm not listening to a damn thing they say. I like my mind the way it is. It's colorful.
Imaginative.
Yeah.
We're having good laughs here, but I should cover more stuff too.
Yeah.
Because with these good laughs and good times, and yeah, it's great fun, but then we have these weird, awkward moments of silence.
It's not my fault.
Well, I mean, like, whose fault would it be?
Gee, I don't know.
A little bit of everybody's fault.
No. It's not everybody's fault. Well, I guess when you factor in that I grew up in the 70s and was exposed to God knows what.
Hey, I grew up in the 70s, some too.
I know, and you're just as bad as me. You just control it better.
I came from a much more violent family than you did. I mean, you were like learning instruments and that kind of thing, and my family was into ultra violence.
Yeah, that
like
is
literally.
R2 said, "Hello, Phoenix, my old friend. I've come to speak with you again."
Yeah, I do believe R2 is about one too many.
Well,
Hey, but it makes for a good show.
it's the holidays. Oh wait.
I've not ever been on a stream drunk. Never.
That is true. You haven't.
I have had other substances and been on a stream, but nobody can tell because they seem to only think I'm fucked up when I am completely sober of everything. And they're like, man, you so fucked up. What are you on? How much shit that you smoking? And they're like, nothing. But when I am on stuff, they're like, hey, you're just normal. You're just a person.
Yeah, they think you're sober. And when you're... It's the damnedest thing too. I've seen it. It's like you can be messed up and people think you're sober. You can be sober as a judge and people think you're messed up. It's weird. I don't understand how, but it's true.
Well,
just popped out of existence, turned into a little fucking weird animal thing.
Yeah. I guess you're just high on life.
You are on something. I'm on Buddha. Yeah. We don't need to hear about you currently being impelled by a Fuda.
Ew! No. I thought he just collected them. I didn't think he used them.
I am on internet brain. I don't know. I mean, I often preach about don't get wrapped up in the internet of all things. Don't let that warp your fucking brain. But it will. It will. If you're a streamer, it absolutely will. I've come to believe that it is unavoidable. If you are a streamer, the internet of things kind of fucks you in the head. Like your own little personal ear Fuda.
Yeah.
Back away from the Futa valve.
Three.
Oh no, I don't want to pick. Oh no, no, I refuse.
You know what I'm seeing? You know what I'm saying? He's got 3 Fudas in him, and he's doing like Charlie Nuclear. He's painting the walls, only he's opening his mouth and it's going spurt because he's just so full of it. He's spinning in a chair, just spurting, painting the walls.
Somebody get the disinfectant.
While those 3 Fudas are going to town on him.
Somebody get the bleach.
Okay,
I know. Do something.
I know. I've just painted the ugliest fucking picture, but he said not just 1, but 3, and I'm like, how do I logic this one out?
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
No.
Back away from the Fuda, not back into it. Back away from it. Not back that ass up, but back away from it.
R2 said, "This is why I drink." I don't blame you.
There's a country song. There's a country song that goes like that. Oh fuck! I'm not big in the country, but I know Elijah knows it. It's like, it's like the fuck. Why I drink, why I smoke.
Family tradition.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking. Why do you drink? Hey, why do you roll smoke? Why must
I
you
have to
live
live
like the
out
songs that you wrote?
And then they'll yell out to get drunk, to get
Yeah.
high. I'm not big into country, but you know, if you're partying with a bunch of rednecks, that's the shit. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't like country, if you like me and you like really don't care for country, it's still a song to get people motherfucking going is still a great thing.
Yeah.
Family
No,
tradition.
I noticed whenever we
So
party with
I will now take my bow like the stream, take his bow, and then what? It bends over and
Ew.
hey, he painted the picture. You know what can I say?
Well, you
Yeah.
helped him paint the picture.
But hey, we'll see you next time, whatever that may be, Valkyria. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the like and thanks for the donations, obviously.
Yeah, see you later, Val.
Bye, Valkyria. Have a good night.
Yeah, that'd be the face he'd make it.
I know a lot of those old
Phoenix
country
was
songs.
trying to say something a moment ago. What was it?
I noticed every time we partied with old rednecks, just about every time there was a knife fight.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you gotta understand, these weren't just rednecks. This was my family. When you're around your average redneck, it's not like that.
Yeah, but I guess that's what
I
I'm
mean,
used to now. So
these are some real hardened motherfuckers. Just being there, you are literally putting your life in danger. I'm not bullshitting you whatsoever.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I got used to people taking it all the way, and I got a feeling they were holding back when I was there. So
Yeah, phrasing.
well, I don't have as perfect of a mind
They
as
took
you
it
guys.
all the way. All the way.
Yeah, how would you say it?
Not like that. Not like that. Phoenix, you got to work on your phrasing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Anyway.
No, just hanging out with rednecks is one thing. These are some of the most hardened, crazy motherfuckers. I mean, they spent most of their life in prison.
Yeah,
And no, I don't make a habit of being around people like that. But when they're your family, you will have moments where you're around them, right?
Yeah.
Especially around the damn holidays. Everybody wants to get crazy around the holidays, and they all want to come to your house.
They'll pop up 3 in the fucking morning, like wasted out of their mind, and then it'd be like hangout time, and it's like, you know, you don't want to offend these motherfuckers. You don't want to do that.
Oh no. So you get your shoes on and you wipe the sleep out of your eyes and you go outside.
Now, to be fair,
start drinking.
To be fair, most of the time it was a very fun night. Most of the nights.
Oh, what's this now? R2
I'm
asked
not-
you a question.
I'm not familiar with that one.
No, I did hear that story, but I don't have no bookmarks or anything to it. But I did hear that story.
Okay. I'm going to have to look it up because I'm not too familiar with it.
Okay, well, essentially, Trump is making this prison. I think it may be in Florida, but it's surrounded by alligators. So if they break out, guess what's going to happen?
Oh,
Oh,
I mean, I think he wanted to bring back the original Alcatraz, but I think it was like too costly or something, is what I'm thinking. I mean, like I said, I don't have the reference in front of me, but I think that's how it went.
well, the Alcatraz prison is basically a crumbling mess.
I've been to Florida a handful of times, probably a lot more when I was real young. My family traveled a lot. But there's rich Florida, where the rich people go to retire, and there's Disney World, Florida. The rest, what they don't show you on TV, is absolutely redneck. Hardcore fucking redneck. The majority of it is absolutely complete redneck. But then there's the cities and the rich areas that they will talk about in the news and show on TV, which is actually the minority. The those places they mention are the minority. Most of it is pure redneck land.
I'll just stay at the house. I'll just stay at the house. It's hot enough here without going somewhere that's hotter and people are crazy. No, at least I can deal with the kind of crazy that I'm used to. I don't need to deal with anybody else's unusual crazy.
Yeah, especially pertaining to people not in America. What you see on TV, whether it be the news or movies or TV shows, whatever media, you're not getting the real picture of things. The media act like the only thing that exists is New York, California, and sometimes Florida. And then they'll only show you those particularly small parts of the area. Yeah, you're being misled highly.
So he said Florida is rednecks and retirees then. Yeah, pretty much.
Of course, you get the immigrants and Cuban people, and it's right there where the boats come in, so you get a lot of foreign mix also in those particular areas.
Mm-hmm.
But the mainstay of Florida is way more redneck than Alabama and Mississippi. It's just they don't talk about that and they don't show that to you.
Mm-hmm. That is very true. That's like when we get TV shows and news and stuff about the UK, they don't show the real stuff, you know.
When you go to Florida, they don't have to release the alligators. They're fucking everywhere. If you have a pool, they're gonna be in it. They're gonna be in your yards, or you might see one going down the road. They're fucking everywhere there. Now, alligators, any of them, they can kill you, sure. Alligators are kind of like akin to big mean dogs. Then you have crocodiles, and those motherfuckers are like dinosaurs. They will swallow you whole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know here is getting an influx of bears. People
they've been releasing alligators. They did this in the 80s, late 80s, I think. They released a bunch of alligators in Mississippi, and then they cleaned them up or killed them off, whatever the case may be. But they've done it again. They've started releasing alligators in the Mississippi again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, yes, there are bears here, but they are becoming increasingly so. There's more bears here in this part of the South than there was previously.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering where in the hell they're coming from, because used to we didn't see many bears at all. Now they're all over the damn place.
The daddy bear meets the mama bear and has a erection. And then the daddy bear goes, this one's too wet. This one's too dry. This one's too big. This one's too small. This one's just right. But each of them we tried has little baby bears.
Are you finished?
I am, but they're not.
Well, let them get finished. We don't want to disturb them. God help us. They'll eat us. But yeah, alligators are all over the place in Mississippi again.
God damn, now you got the thought in my head of hearing bears grunt going at it. Imagine the bear sex noises.
What the hell is wrong with you? Nobody said anything about that.
You said let them finish. You said let them finish, right? And I'm imaginative. You say something and my imagination just goes wild on it, right? And I'm like, okay, waiting on them to finish. Oh, they sound nasty. What do you mean you have no predatory animals in Scotland? You have the Scottish people.
Yeah, there you go.
I think they used to have wolves, if I'm not mistaken, but they killed them all off back when they thought everybody was a werewolf. So I mean, I'm not sure.
Release the Haggises.
My uncle was stationed in Scotland, and he got in trouble because when he came back to the United States, he brought a haggis with him, and he got in trouble for bringing the haggis because here it's illegal to have haggis because
Well,
you know,
it's not bad if you clean it right.
But I'm thinking, you know, people here eat chitlins and all kind of stuff. Why haggis? Why is haggis illegal? So
You know, well, they're black. They can do whatever they want. Well, no, the fact of the matter is that people go, oh, black people had to eat this, blah, 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 blah. No. Yeah, sure, black people, yeah, but poor people. People of all colors and races had to eat this stuff because they were struggling, they were suffering, that, you know, whatever to get by. It wasn't just black people. And they talk about, oh, black food. No, you know, it's like a lot of comedians go, it's a black thing. It's like, no, motherfucker, it's a poor thing. Clearly, you haven't been around very many people that weren't black that's also poor.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know people in the South in particular. They have elevated the Southern cuisine to reach other people in other places of the world. And other people in the world can't handle it because they fall asleep every time they eat it.
But, you know, haggis and other such foods stems from it was what was available that they had to eat. It wasn't the preferable food, but it become a tradition because, you know, when they were struggling to get anything is what they had a lot of, like the Irish and potatoes, for example.
Yeah.
But actually, that stems from royalty. But I don't want to get into another one of these stories. I think I need to cover another thing. We're past the 2-hour mark.
Oh, okay.
I'm just checking. Okay. We couldn't have made a better Dragon Age. The Velguard developer claps back at everyone saying they made a bad game. So we all know, we all heard, and we've seen other people play it, the latest Dragon Age the Velguard. And we know the primary reason why it failed so hard, or as a lot of people call it Dragon Age the Fell Hard, is for the political messaging they put in. The question is, was it a bad game besides that? Ultimately, yes. But, you know, here's the developer was saying we could not have made a better Dragon Age. And they are angry because people didn't like it. They're blaming the people who play games. You know, we get the game, we're like, we don't like it. And everybody else is like, we don't like it either. So we're all, as gamers, we don't like it. It's like, we couldn't have made a better game. Really? You managed to before. Other people were managing. Why could you not have made a better game?
That is a very good question.
Yeah, I know the first Dragon Age was compared to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and, as a good thing.
Dragon Age, the Fuda Guard. Just when you thought you escaped the Fuda appeared. Fuda is hungry.
Monkey.
Yes, welcome, Frag Monkey.
Hey, Frag Monkey.
A level designer for the game has said that BioWare couldn't have made a better Dragon Age. I'm damn proud of it and the team. Huh? Why are they so proud when it failed so hard? Level designer supervisor Brian J. Audit, I don't know how to say that name, but he took to Blue Sky. Oh, what a surprise. Blue Sky. Doesn't this tell you everything you need to know? I mean, do I really need to read the rest at all? To share their thoughts on everything it revealed. Audit's response actually happened some time ago. In his reply, Audit said that he refutes the claim that BioWare made a bad or compromised game, and that the team actually made the best version of what we released, warts and all. Audette also stated that he's proud of what the team put together, and that they could not have made a better Dragon Age game, only a different one. But here's the thing. If they literally could not have made a better game, then they should have got a better team. Okay, let's say they did their best, 110% or, whatever, right? Then they should have got a better team. Perhaps a more seasoned team. Perhaps a team that, they should have put together some of the old developers that made the good games. If they could not have made better, then they could have replaced the team. They should have checked in and was like, we don't like the direction this is going. We need to reorganize and shuffle some people around.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had been in charge of this, I would not have put this out at all. I'd have told them to change the whole damn thing.
Frag Monkey, tell me you're proud of taking a dump without telling me you're proud of taking a dump. Alongside that, Audit also pointed out that the Veilguard is still the best reviewed game that he's worked on in his 25-year career. Okay, that brings us, into question, how many games has he worked on and how bad are the other ones if that's the best reviewed? I mean, seriously, this game, not officially, but among gamers is up there and being I don't know, the top of the top worst in 20 lists, let's say. I mean, really, he's just painting a worse and worse picture for himself and the rest of the team. So, R2-Lee2, the graphics guy, did their job. The combat designers did their job. However, the story writers and character designers were dumb activist fuckwits. Hey, hey, listen to the Scottish man. He knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Exactly.
I mean,
hey, I'm going to read over some of the comments here. If this is the best rated game of his 25-year career, maybe he should rethink his work. He should rethink his career, because if this is his best, he has no talent. As a game developer, absolutely no talent. It seems that people agree with us, as I stated, and it's quite obvious to the rest of the world that anybody that did not work on this game. So, okay, go ahead.
This is what happens when you get in a bubble and everybody's a yes man and they won't tell you the truth on nothing, and then you turn out garbage.
This is what happens when you work with activists. This is also what happens when you have developers who at best learn to use Unreal Engine and not much else. This is what happens when you get people not long out of college and their mind is full of activism. And okay, they said they could not have made a better one, but just a different one. Perhaps they should have made that different one. If it had been better then, who can say? I mean, we'd have to see it first, but whatever the case, they most definitely made the wrong decisions here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't understand. Well, I do understand it, but what I was going to say is, did they not go over the script first before putting it in the game?
10 years that pile of shit took. Can you imagine a 10-year shit? I mean, laxatives, man, laxatives. Change your diet.
Take some fiber or something. Oh, God. But did they not?
Like, you've been in there a while. What are you doing? I call it the Veilguard.
But did they not read the script? Did somebody should be held accountable for this bullshit right here?
Knock, knock, knock. Why are you still in the bathroom? So, I'm non-binary. I asked you why you're in the fucking bathroom. Yeah, if they got paid in X-Lax, we'd have it got it faster.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's like when the processors were getting quicker and quicker, and the main OS was Windows. I mean, yes, the main OS is still Windows, but a lot of people like me use Linux. But okay, when the processors were getting faster and faster, the ongoing joke was the classic joke. Oh yeah, so now we can crash Windows that much quicker. And
Yeah.
it came to pass, I would say. I really would say so. Not unlike this game. I mean, if that pile of shit that they call the Velguard took 10 years, if it just took one, it would still be a pile of shit.
yeah. Mhm.
Can't polish a turd. It's
Yeah.
still a turd.
You can try, but it's just gonna smear everywhere, and then you're gonna pay reviewers for higher scores, and then you're gonna gaslight everybody, and then you're gonna pretend you won when you're the biggest loser amongst us.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that's kind of what they did. I think they paid somebody to write good reviews on that damn thing, because no gamer that I've ever seen likes that damn game. They all say it's a pile of crap. So
Yeah, my point exactly.
Yeah. It's not like they can't come up with better ideas for games. Like I have one that I think is a good idea about Native Americans and Irish Celtic mythology. Like the Celtic Irish starting to come to the Native American land. And you can just imagine it like a field of natives. And then on the shore would be like you see a raven coming down and landing onto the shoulder of the Morrigan or something like that.
Well, you could, in that thought process, involve all the mythology of everywhere, right? The Africans had a lot of, possibly still do, a lot of mythology, although I've heard some of theirs, and some of theirs is quite screwy. But I digress on that part. If you include all nations, all people from all around the world, and you incorporate their mythology, and you make a game of all the mythos of the people of the world, yeah, that alone could be interesting.
I
yeah.
mean, it's a little bit similar to how that TV show slash comic book done it. American Gods,
Oh
just being
yeah,
in the
yeah.
past instead of in the present day.
Yeah, but they lean mostly into Greek, didn't they?
Norse, like
Norse.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
Odin
Norse.
as one of the main
But
characters.
they tried to incorporate, like, oh, there's a god of technology and media, that kind of thing. But they primarily leaned into Norse mythology.
Yeah, they had a few others, but they felt more like side characters in there.
I like the concept. I don't think they played it off the best,
Yeah,
but the concept is interesting.
yeah. That writer that did that, he has some good, okay stuff, but he's a bit blown out of proportion, in my opinion.
Do you recall his name?
Um, he done Sandman and that one about the angels.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I
bad
think
with names.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Okay, Neil Gaiman. You realize how he just got canceled, and for the reasons he got canceled, which sounds like they needed to do more than just cancel him.
Yeah.
I've covered that. Are you familiar?
Yeah, but I kind of forgot what it was.
He treated women in some incredibly inappropriate ways.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, he was I don't know if he was found guilty or not, but
The court of public opinion had already ruled on it. You know which way that was going to go. But from everything I read, and who knows, you'd have to been there. But from everything I read, it sounds like he really needed to be put away.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. If he was found guilty, they need to put him away for a very long time, if not permanent. There was a game.
You read this one. As a Dragon Age game player, I never thought this game needs more cock and identity politics with chest scars for good measure. Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
And
Oh.
I've covered a few stories of what D&D is doing these days, and it will appall you so much more than even what they did in that game.
Yeah.
Which, you know, D&D, the tabletop game, it's a clown show now.
It's bad.
If
Like
I had the money, I would create a game based on Battle Pug. But that's
He's-
just me.
there's a
Oh, you
comic
know,
book called
there's
that.
there is a somewhat independent, I think it's an independent comic called Battle Pug.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I'd want to make a game based around Battle Pug. I like Battle Pug. Reminds me of Big Shirley. But I hope that
Okay.
Road
We need to get to more topics because I want to cover, you know, because I'm going to be away for, I don't know, 2-4 days. I don't even know how long. I'm going to be away for a little bit, so I want to make sure to be able to cut these up and put them on daily videos just in case, you know, make sure it's covered right. So before we burn too much time, I want to, you know, cover a few more topics. Honk. Every purchase comes with a red nose. So, Sony pauses Spider-Man spin-off universe Knoll movie canceled. Knoll is a comic character, you know, that came about by this symbiote, which is now generally known as Venom, and he's supposed to be like the god type character. I'm not super familiar with the story. I do remember when the symbiote suit was first introduced. I was in the comics way back then, but I didn't follow it, you know, like more currently. But as we know, Sony put out a bunch of movies, and some of them were okay, some of them not so okay, some of them were utter crap. And I'm speaking of Spider-Man spin-offs. Yeah, the Knoll character, you'd have to read the Venom line of comics, maybe. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with it, but I know it's directly associated with Venom, which is a spin-off from, you know, Spider-Man. Sony Spider-Man spin-off universe looks to be over. Now it's claimed Sony has put a pause on things, and even that a planned Knoll movie has been canceled. If you watch the latest Venom movie, they teased this godlike being called Knoll, which I guess they had big plans for, and it might have been all right. I can't say, but they have canceled it. But we'll get more into it. The news shouldn't come as a surprise, as it follows massive bombs from Sony Marvel, including Kraven, Madam Web, and Morbius. Even the 2 Venom sequels came nowhere near the first one. The fact is, the movies just aren't any good. So, when they say Marvel, Sony, they kind of work together, but they kind of work against each other too, because Marvel really wants the rights back, but Sony kind of don't want to let it go because they're still making money off of it.
Hi,
Also,
Toasty.
welcome, Toasty with the Mosty 69.
Hey.
Otherwise known as Toasty. Venom 3 features that Knoll post-credit scene, but it really went nowhere and felt like it was thrown in as an act of desperation. We, the three of us here, we've seen the latest Venom movie, and there was what didn't feel like a real takeaway with the Knoll character they teased. The movie kind of fell flat. It was mostly a fluff movie. Would you two agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I didn't
wasn't-
like the ending.
I wasn't there at the time you watched this, so I didn't see it.
I didn't like the ending at all.
Okay. It's also known that the exec in charge of Sony Marvel has exited Sony. That's a really telling thing there. It's a really bad sign. You know, the person in charge of the Sony Marvel movies left. So as it features there, that's the New Spider-Man. It's not exactly Spider-Man, but it's a Spider-Man-like character. But we'll get into this. What's next for Sony, Marvel, and Spider-Man? Reports and rumors claim Sony is shifting focus to Spider-Man 4 and the third Spider-Verse movie. The word is Sony plans to prioritize Spider-Man over the spin-off characters. That includes multiverse versions like the Nicolas Cage Spider-Noir series and the possibly more. The Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir thing. I like the concept. It's just a matter of how well it's executed.
Yeah.
But I believe it's gonna go straight to what, Amazon Prime? Or I'm not sure, but
I think
straight
so.
to one of
Yeah.
those.
I'm very curious about it myself.
Yeah, it looked interesting to me. I thought it was a good concept.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was
not sure
something
about
different.
Nicolas Cage doing the role, but hey, you never know. I mean, he's performed some of them all right.
I think I heard he voiced like the animated version of him or something like that, but I didn't watch that movie, so I'm not sure.
So R2-Lee2, I feel the whole superhero genre is on the path of diminishing returns right now. No, I absolutely agree. I do. They're overplayed. For that matter, they've been trying to detoxify them by they made the Hulk a big old pussy. They made Thor fat at one point. They made Miss Marvel, which is, out of nowhere, the most powerful and the first Avenger and the most powerful of them all, which is not that way in the comics or never had been previously. They are, as an old-fashioned phrase, they have jumped the shark.
Well,
Yeah, and he confers there Nicolas Cage was the voice of Spider-Man Noir in Into the Spider-Verse.
well, I think that at one time Marvel was really well done, and they were well versed in the stories and all that kind of stuff. But now they've jumped on the political agenda train, and they've went to hell in a handbasket, so to speak.
Well, I have not been for them since Marvel was bought out by Disney. There was a time that Marvel, before Disney owned them, had a chance to buy DC. The problem is both companies were going down because comics were losing the grip they once had. And I suppose anime was strengthening his role. And before they were both swallowed up by bigger companies. We could have had a Marvel DC unified universe. That alone could have brought it back. I just think it's bad choice after bad choice after bad choice. And now they have such a force behind them as Disney with all the political agenda to come with it. It just gets uglier every day.
Yeah, and to think these people that make these decisions like this to merge these companies and stuff like that, they went to college for this, and look at all the bad decisions they're making. They forgot.
Yeah, I mean, like, you went to college and you make bad decisions all the time. So there you go.
Yeah, but I'm not in. Yeah, but I'm not in charge of multi-million-dollar companies either.
Yeah. One thing that I think
multi-billion.
Oh yeah, excuse me, billion.
Okay.
I think that one thing that's got people burnt out on the comics and everything and superheroes is that they're all so extremely powerful and none of them is grounded at all.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, if you look back at the 1970s Hulk, right? He was the Incredible Hulk, and he could flip a car, but he could still get shot. It was like, it's incredible, but he's not like fucking Goku where he farts and blows the universe away.
Yeah.
One whole episode of Dragon Ball Z, and all they're doing is grunting, like they're gonna take a big poop.
They grunt so fucking hard their hair stands on the edge.
Yeah.
Not one episode. It's like it's like half a season.
No, I do get the appeal of Dragon Ball Z. When I was younger, people that I practiced martial arts with, and we were all into it, and it inspired us to like, hey, we want to get like that. I mean, of course, not quite like that, but you get my point. But yeah, it's a bit much, and I am more for the I don't know, kind of like the Pulp Fiction era of where, fantastical stories, almost Twilight Zone, like where you had the amazing, but it wasn't like I said, like you farted and blew away Earth, that kind of insanity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like one of the most popular ones is Tarzan. He's incredibly strong, incredibly smart, but he can still die.
I'd take it over Smash JT grunting. Make entertainment great again. Okay, yeah, I have always liked Tarzan, but with that being said, you get to thinking like many people have hypothesized, did he fucking ape?
Probably.
There's no way he would have came out a functional human being. If he survived to adulthood, which is unlikely, he would have been in all kinds of messed up shape, and he would have been no one's hero.
Yeah, and in the books, he was like fight gorillas, and he'd like take him like grapple locks and things and beat him that way. And I just don't see that actually happening.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, I've always liked Tarzan. Looking at it from as an adult is like, nah, fuck that, no.
Yeah.
He fucked James.
Yeah, and then Jane reaches back to stateside and goes to the doctor. What's wrong with me, doctor? It's this new thing. They're calling it HIV. Like, have you visited countries with great apes recently?
Oh man, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. Wrong. This is wrong. Oh,
Funny.
it's funny, but it's wrong all at the same time.
Well, they claim that that's where that disease come from. I don't fucking know. They could have made it in a lab and released it. I don't know, but that is a claim. They said it was transferred from apes.
Yeah. I still say the best Tarzan movie is that I think it was Greystoke. What was it called?
Oh yeah, Tarzan of Greystoke.
Yeah, I always liked that movie.
It's the most accurate to the books. They changed a few things in it, but it's pretty good.
I think the actor that played Tarzan did really well.
Yeah, me too.
Although it's somewhat of a sad story, but it's a good story.
I'm just counting how many minutes we can get by without somebody yelling out Fuda.
There's one.
Oh no.
or Snatch.
Yeah.
Like we don't say the F word here.
And I will say probably my favorite Pulp Fiction story is Philip Marlowe stories. I doubt most people will know what that is. It's a detective private eye stories.
They made polio vaccines cultured in green monkey kidney. That's what made it jump species.
Oh.
So according to Frag Monkey, which they would know they're monkey, right? I mean, they should know. Monkeys, apes, but you get the gag. So yeah, they made the vaccines originally in monkey kidneys, and then when they gave the shot, so yeah, it's possible.
Look what Ladybug did.
It means in both.
No, okay, here's the thing. A Fuda already has a snatch. That's what makes it a Fuda. It has both.
Yeah.
Ladybug, either keep up with the rest of the class or go sit outside.
Touch some grass, not ass. If you're over on YouTube, you can hit that heart reaction. It helps with the channel, the algorithm. Just tap, 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 tap it like you're trying to fuck it to death. I had to come up with something, right? I'm thinking, what do people do in repetitive motion madly?
Oh,
That is generally true. Viruses don't jump from species to species. There may be some cases where it has happened, but in most cases they don't. To my knowledge, I'm not a scientist, but to my knowledge, yeah, they generally don't.
that is true. They have to be helped a little bit.
Yeah, I believe my chat on screen here is frozen, so like Thanos snap, they're gone. They're all gone. That's it. Technically, I think he only wiped out half of them. That story was, if you're a comic lover, follower, that story was utter bullshit. It was badly written. All the fuck that they already had the stories written for them in comic form. All they gotta do is follow it. I don't know why they can't do this.
I don't understand it either. It's like it's already written. Just follow the book.
Okay. Apparently, he done it so everybody will have enough food. But couldn't he create more food with that gauntlet?
Could what now?
He done it because nobody had enough food. But couldn't he create more with that gauntlet he had?
Technically, I skipped watching that movie. I have still not watched that movie, but I've seen a lot of clips of it. Yeah, with that gauntlet, he had all the infinity gems. He had the power of all creation or uncreation. Yeah, he could have up and did anything.
You're back.
Elijah, I could have swore I just seen something green run behind you.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know. Anyway, it's a leprechaun.
Where's my gold then, bitch?
Okay. Frag Monkey says they told everyone yellow fever was airborne virus. It was spread by mosquitoes. Same shit, different era.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, I'm not real familiar with that story myself, so I can't comment on it much. Put down the booze, R2. It's not worth it. Put it down. I know you're Scottish, but come on. You have grounds to keep, Willie.
Well, I do need a new pair of shoes, so I guess I'll have to fight the alligator.
So, yeah. So, I take it that Frag Monkey here, once COVID hit, they took to studying up on all such topics.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when COVID hit, I was like, okay, what can we do to protect ourselves? Because I remember seeing videos of people in China and they were just dropping like flies in the street.
I think those videos were rigged. They had people in bubbles. There was people just on their jobs just falling dead, and tons of these videos. I think they were fake. I think it was a mass push. They were trying to scare the fuck out of as many people as they could, I think. Now there's also the chance that when that stuff released from that lab there, which didn't come from no fucking bat suit, when it released from that lab there, the other diseases released too, and these people really were dropping dead. There's also that possibility.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason if one got out, then they a lot of others could get out too,
But I don't believe that bat soup for a moment. Okay, you get these countries where we eat virtually anything, and they probably ate a little bit of everything, and it was probably fairly common. And let's say they did have bat soup, somebody puked, somebody got sick, but it didn't spawn worldwide COVID. I think you'd have to be an idiot to believe that.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I know I had COVID a total of 3 times, and each time it affected me different. I mean, it was a weird feeling. It was just
Wait,
really weird.
if any of you out there do get the virus COVID, do not take the fucking medicine they give you for it. It's worse than the virus. It really is. And there's a lot of people who believe, and I'm not saying they're wrong, there's a lot of people who believe that it's a government conspiracy to make you sterile, to make you weak, to lessen the population. It is entirely possible. I am fully open to that belief.
Well, I know that after COVID, I wasn't the same. I mean, I would get tired really quick, and it was just, it's like you're not sick, but you're not well either, and you're tired all the time, and constant sinus trouble and just all kind of stuff. And I never had that issue before COVID, so who's to say what exactly is going on with it? Because it changes so much, I think.
Okay, I will bring up another topic. Netflix's Devil May Cry showrunner, Adi Shankar. You may have heard of him, especially if you've heard of Dan's Punch video featuring him. Crowns himself the guy that can save Hollywood. Says he's making American animation. Fucking cool.
Oh, dear Lord. Anybody that says that is...
Wait, first of all, I believe he was behind the Castlevania Netflix series, which the first season was good. The second season was gay as gay can get, and had boss bitches making the Belmont look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And now he's went on to ruin Devil May Cry, which, to be fair, I've not seen. I've played some of the games. I've not seen the animation of it. But I hear he has ruined that as well. Adi, I don't know if that's how you said it, but Adi Shankar, the producer and writer behind Netflix, Castlevania, and Devil May Cry, stated in an interview his intent to revolutionize American animation, or rather, that he's making America animation fucking cool again. The guy that can save Hollywood. Oh, he is full of himself, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Narcissistic much?
Shankar discussed production on Devil May Cry and having acquired rights to make something with Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem is all about male strength, maleness, like fuck yeah, and shoot some big guns and get you some women. Can you imagine what this man is going to do to it?
I don't think I want to imagine. No, I don't either.
He was drawn to pop culture and more at the time, as Francisco puts it, new metal on MTV, reruns of action movies on cable TV, and Devil May Cry on PlayStation 2. These are not all bad things. Some of these are cool fucking things. The question is how did it produce someone as weak and gay as this? When I say gay, I'm not talking about homosexual. I'm using it in the other sense of the meaning. How did it produce someone like this? Making the demons of hell a clear allegory for Middle Eastern refugees, with hell being bombed by the U.S., eager for a new energy source, all set to Green Day's American Idiot. What? What? What?
No. Oh, this is just gonna be terrible. This is just gonna be terrible. I already know it.
I think it's already out. I hear people say it's pretty bad. I haven't watched it.
What the? I mean, why can't people make good stuff anymore? Duke Nukem was always kind of an overtop parody of masculinity. I guarantee that this Shankar dude won't get it though. Yeah, absolutely. He's probably like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this clown on screen. And he thinks he's looking cool, right? He's like, he's got the makeup and the leather jacket. He's thinking he's looking cool. God damn, if anything screams beta male.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
more of a man than they are. And I'm a woman. That's bad.
Okay. Shankar cosplayed as Dante, winning the crowd at WWE's Monday Night Raw. So I take it that's him cosplaying as Dante from Devil May Cry.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
Looks nothing like him.
Yeah, he'll use it as an excuse to mock masculinity. Again, listen to the Scottish man. He seems to know what the fuck he's talking about. Honk honk. Clown world is what I'm saying here. Honk honk clown world. Okay, get this. He says, I wanted to be a professional wrestler, Shankar admitted. Okay, he just wanted to touch wrestlers in naughty places, I think.
yeah, I don't even want to say what he wanted to do because, oh my goodness.
I'm no fucking wrestler. I never wanted to be a wrestler. But you look at that man. You look at that man. I think he was into it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's the third member of the Insound Clown Pussies. Great comment. Fucking perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Gotta give Frag Monkey some real props for that one.
Yeah.
Shankar has played the heel throughout his career. Yeah, he's still kind of playing the heel, isn't he? Though referring to red carpet events for films where he was in Kiss-esque eye makeup, flowing raven hair, and rock star leather and denim. I would not call that flowing raven hair. I call that a joke. I call that an absolute joke. Yeah, he's the third member of the Insound Clown Pussies. Absolutely. Shankar once again told the story of how he initially pitched to work on Dino Crisis before Capcom. Now, I'm not familiar with Dino Crisis, but I know a lot of gamers and they love the fuck out of it. Can you imagine if he had got his hands on it? The development and production of Devil May Cry and how the show handled its political allegories. It shouldn't have political allegories. I mean, okay, to be fair, Lord of the Rings, the original, had political allegories, but it wasn't done in such a overtly way, if you follow what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Even Tolkien said he didn't mean to put anything political into it. It's just how it came out.
Well, you know, J.R.R. Tolkien, he was in the war, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's where he drew his inspiration. He wasn't a bystander going, this is how I feel about what's going on. It makes a difference. When you're moving around as much as your mind is forming, so he says he moved around a lot, nothing meant anything. What was cool was shifting. Cool was a construct that was malleable depending on where you were. Even the history books were different. You learn about American Revolution here. It's not considered the American Revolution in British school. It's the American Revolt. Is it just me, or is revolt and revolution essentially the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not exactly the same thing, but revolution is an extension of the word revolt, or am I mistaken there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So I think don't matter who you are, where you are, you're what's cool shouldn't come from other people. I think you know what seems cool and what doesn't. If you're being told what is cool, perhaps you are really a heel. You are a tool. You are not so bright if you can't figure out what's cool and what's not. And yes, of course, you know, American Revolution and then Britain is, of course it's going to be seen different. Duh.
Yeah.
Why? It seems like as though he's surprised by that.
Yeah.
This This Addy guy is another Nippo DEI hire.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make animation cool in the way hip hop became cool. No, don't. Shankar explained the way Kane, how are you supposed to say
Kanye.
yeah. Why the fuck they want to do that? It looks like Kane. In the way that Kanye changed fashion. Don't. No one really likes Kanye. No, they, especially not real adults. Kanye is a joke to everyone. How about you two? What's your take?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Kanye is he's
I
crazy.
mean, Kanye likes fish sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves them.
Oh, that's Big Shirley.
So he says Devil May Cry is not an anime. It is a lineage of X-Men, Batman, the animated series, Gargoyles, and Ultra Force. I don't see that. Okay, again, I have not seen the Devil May Cry animation, but I have seen the Castlevania one, and it absolutely does not have the feel of these that he's naming here. Batman, the animated series, Gargoyles. It doesn't have the depth, not the depth of character, not the depth of story. Some of these have deeper stories than others do that he's listed here, but no, I'm familiar with most of these that he's listing here, like Batman the animated series had some great episodes. Gargoyles, oh, that was just so well done. I did not get the same feel off of Castlevania when I watched it. It didn't stick with me like those did.
No.
It seems he is a pale imitator who does not understand what he's imitating, or rather, you shouldn't imitate at all. You should be inspired, but not imitate.
Yeah,
He's just a poser.
So he says, I'm not chasing the grammar of anime. I'm building something new rooted in American action storytelling. And if he wants to say, oh, this is not anime, why is he purposely styling everything in an anime style? Just because it's an animated feature does not mean it has to be anime styled. But he's not chasing the grammar of anime. It is not an anime. Why is everything he's doing being anime styled? So there you go.
It looks like an anime to me.
Shankar theorizes like nu metal, when nu metal was the coolest thing, the hits are what made it. They took nu metal but distilled it into a poppy frame, so everyday people were like, I'm into this. Corn Freak on a Leash becomes a Trojan horse for normal people to get into Deftones and Tool. So he's saying Corn was poppy so people could get into Deftones and Tool. What?
Where the hell is he getting this stuff from?
This fucker's got such backwards takes. I don't know what to think. What the hell is wrong with him?
He's just a poser.
So, they're giving him Duke Nukem. And they've already given him Castlevania and Devil May Cry. Why does the industry keep feeding clowns?
That is a very good question.
Because they'll do what they're told. That's why. They'll do what they're told.
When you get a man that looks like this, that looks like this, like that. Okay, they're like, they walk them in like, oh, you're small and shiny. Bend over, little boy. Yeah, we'll give you money to do this, but bend over. Here's the oil. It feels like that's what's happening here.
Well,
you just say what we want you to say, do what you want us to, that's what it feels like is happening. Okay, I'm not willing to spend any more time on this clown.
No.
Insane clown pussy. Bye, bitch boy.
Oh, thank God he's gone. and what he's gonna put out's gonna stink.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't mention like the Spawn cartoon.
Yes, again, the Scottish man speaks the truth. These are poser takes.
Oh
We're
yeah.
talking about the clown boy that was, yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna take inspiration for something that's supposed to be like a gritty, gory, and all that, I don't see. And he specifically emphasized Western cartoons. Why he didn't say Spawn, the HBO animated series?
Oh yeah, the HBO Spawn series was not anime influenced. It was animated, but it was not anime styled, and it was fucking great. It was just so good.
Yeah, they have like what 3 or 4 of them, something like that.
There's more than
However,
that.
I will
forget how many, but
say
there's a lot.
for anybody that's curious that may have children, Spawn is not child friendly. So if you watch the animated series and you have kids, just make sure your kids don't watch it if they're
It
they're
really
real
depends how your family is, because I mean, I think I may have been an adult when that came out. I don't quite remember, but whatever the case, I was never censored for much, and my own kids I never censored for much. Sure, there's things you definitely want to censor the use from, no doubt. Yeah, of course, it would be neglect or abuse to not censor them at all. But I'm not big into censorship. I didn't grow up on much censorship. But yeah, if you're out there and that's your thing, yeah, always check something out beforehand, especially if you hear about it here.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there's like 3 seasons of it.
Yeah. How many viewers we still got out there? I know R2, he's been hanging around for a while, and of course that's good, that's great. He's been putting out some perfect takes. He needs to get drunk more often.
Yeah.
We got Midnight Ladybug, and you see that wrench. That means Midnight Ladybug's got a wrench. She'll beat you to fucking death with that wrench. Ooh, the animations I seen when I was a kid, I probably shouldn't have been seeing, but yeah, I seen some stuff.
You've seen some things.
Yeah, you could already taken some inspiration from Vampire Hunter D.
I mean,
oh yeah, that's another good
one I watched as a child was Fritz the Cat.
Yeah.
I saw Fritz the Cat.
Also seen this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like triple X type of animation. Yeah, I wasn't censored for much.
But Fritz the Cat,
it's not like oh my god, I'll never be the same again. I've seen this. I was like, hey, that's weird, and go the fuck on. I do know some people will get warped from the things they witness, but not me. I mean, I've never been able to be impressed upon very much.
but Fritz the Cat, yeah, it was.
I love the hell out of Vampire Hunter D. There's 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a manga as well, obviously.
Yeah, the Bloodlust was the second one. Had really good animation and art. It was definitely the better one.
What were you saying about Fritz the Cat?
Fritz the Cat was an X-rated cartoon, but it also made you think about a lot of stuff too.
Well, it had some politics in it, politics of the time, which is nothing like the politics of today. But it will help. I mean, yeah, it's an adult animation, but it'll help give you a sense of the politics of the 70s.
Yeah. And there was Wizards and Fire and Ice and Heavy Metal. There was a lot of stuff he could have drew inspiration from other than what he named. And he's going to ruin the things that he named.
Okay, yeah, that's some stuff I grew up on, right? And today people was like, Pokemon, gotta catch them all, gotta catch them all. Pokemon, look at my deck, look at my deck. Yeah, yeah. I got a big dick. Look at my dick. Right. My Pokemon dick. Right. That's what we get today. And I'm like, fucking heavy metal, wizards, fire and ice, Fritz the Cat. And I was like, I come from a groovy time. There's all kinds of fun shit going on. You're like, look at my dick. I got a big dick. Gotta catch them all. Ooh, Magic the Gathering. Okay, if you're into that stuff, great. I'm just saying it's a different time, a different era. My influences were a lot heavier. That's all I'm saying.
But those animated movies, I liked the rotoscope aspect of them. That was really well done, in my opinion. But you just don't see that kind of stuff anymore. It's all AI created and CGI and all that kind of stuff. You don't get the depth of the art. It's like,
No, I mean, I especially don't like the coloring now. It's like that, like, I guess I use a light pen, right? And they're like, this will be this, almost, what they call them? This will be almost a pastel. And then we're going to make a swipe. So it's one color, but now it's two, but it's got to swipe down it. I'm like, goddamn motherfucker, pick up some paints and learn to put some detail and stuff, because I'm tired of these, like, this flat blended colors all over everything.
Yeah. Changing the color palette can completely change what you're looking at.
Oh yeah, I mean they use
Like
Blender way too much.
When you're looking at art, whether it be comic or any other art, let's say in a case you have an artist and then you have an inker, and you're like, I love this artist. Maybe you love that inker, because you put another inker on that, it makes it or breaks it.
That is true. That is so true. And people,
I actually don't believe I've seen that one. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't believe I have.
Sounds
It says some of those animations in the Animatrix were kind of dark.
But a lot of people don't give credit to the inkers, because they can break or make a comic or a film, or well, when they used to do inkers for film creations and stuff like that, that can make him or break anything like that. Because I mean, you could have the best drawn character in the world, and if your inker stinks, it's going to ruin the whole thing. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's her opinion.
Yep, mine. All mine.
Nobody else's.
Nobody else's. Just mine.
Yeah, but society taught us that women are simple-minded and weak, and they're oppressed. They're just so heavily oppressed.
Yeah,
that we had to put them on a pedestal and like worship them these days and let them break all the laws, and it's okay because down with men, right?
That stinks. That's bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. Women are human beings, should be treated as such, just like men.
Okay, I'm gonna get to another topic, maybe the final topic for the night. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna get to another topic now. Xbox hardware is dead, says founding team member. It looks like Xbox has no desire or literally can't ship hardware anymore. I remember when this kind of happened to Sega. They just brought out, I think it was 1999. Yeah, like, I know that sounds like centuries ago, but it wasn't. They just brought out Sega Saturn, I think it was. I think so. And then, like, no more Sega. It's like they just collectively gave up, and you didn't like hear about Sega anymore, even though they were one of the biggest names. I don't think this is going to happen to Microsoft, but they may shift their gears more into software. But let's get into it. One of the original founding members of Xbox, Laura Fryer, believes the firm's hardware ambitions are dead. She calls the company's current roadmap chaos. There's literally no reason to buy this handheld, Fryer opined of the Rogue Xbox Ally. And yeah, okay, well, I kind of agree with that because, well, I support the Steam Deck because they support open source, and I've never been a big fan of Microsoft. Also, this ROG Xbox Ally is going to be like $1,000 after tax or more. So yeah, I just can't see it. So we're going to take 4 minutes here to watch this video. Official overview trailer, Xbox Games Showcase. Okay, what's currently showing is a commercial for the handheld that they're going to be pushing hard. Let's see if I can skip ahead some.
So
yes, they're also going to be pushing Game Pass real hard, which means streaming games, which means you have zero control over your games. You're essentially renting access from them more so than even Nintendo selling you keys to download the game. So that's what the person means by they think that the Xbox is, Microsoft essentially getting out of the hardware market. I'm gonna let it play a little bit.
Gaming. So what's next? How can we give you even more freedom, more choice, more ways to play? Our next step is to unify your gaming no matter where you buy or play. So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device. The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows. On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect. And the highly anticipated Hollow Knight Silksong will be available at launch and in Game Pass when the Ally releases later this year. In fact, every new game you see in today's show will be playable on the Xbox Ally. We have always wanted you to have the unique experience of Xbox on any screen. That's why we're investing in Xbox Play Anywhere. Whether you're playing on console, PC, smart TV, or any Windows handheld like the new Xbox Ally, the Xbox experience roams with you. Your library, progression, friends, and achievements. There are over 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games on Xbox today. And every new game you see in today's show, from our partners and our studios, is Xbox Play Anywhere. And because it's Xbox, you can always have access to Game Pass with a diverse lineup of games from the biggest franchises to critically acclaimed indie hits. This is the freedom we believe players should have. Any game, anywhere. And we are giving it our all every day to make this vision real. But it all comes back to the games. From Dead to Rights on the original Xbox to Armored Core 6, our relationship with Bandai Namco Entertainment has stood the test of time. We both believe in bringing amazing experiences to players around the world, and their next game does exactly that. From Rebel Wolves Studio, this is a story-rich action RPG steeped in dark fantasy that I can't wait for you to explore. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, so yeah, they're going to be pushing more Game Pass and this handheld, which the hardware is made by Asus, or however you want to pronounce it. So that's why one of the team is saying that their hardware days are done and their plan is chaos. You know, I kind of agree, but it may work for them. I don't know. I just I just don't really see it myself, but it could. Xbox is focused on driving fans to Game Pass. Fryer continued saying that while there's value in that, and while it's possible, or while it's possibly one of the reasons why Outer Worlds 2 was slapped with an $80 price tag, Microsoft is allegedly planning significant layoffs in its gaming business that could come as early as this week. Managers at Microsoft had reportedly already been briefed about the Xbox layoffs, as well as wider cuts at the company, which are expected to hit sales teams in particular. The Verge reported Microsoft plans to make the cuts ahead of the release of the next generation of consoles. It comes after Microsoft announced a partnership with AMD to power the next generation of Xbox. Well, see, first it was Valve's Steam Deck that, you know, started. Well, first it was the Switch, then it was Steam Deck that kicked off the handheld craze. But Sony has not successfully jumped on that bandwagon yet. It's neither is Microsoft, but good chance Microsoft is going to really push at that market. And then they won't even have to push the power with it because they will be leaning on Game Pass, going, no, you don't need that much power, just stream it.
Yeah. I know one I seen that looks pretty interesting is the Legion Go S, and it has Steam on it as well.
Well,
yeah, Steam has released Steam OS, which is a Linux. They've released it for more handhelds. So yeah, they are bringing out other handhelds with Steam OS on it, which you know, is great.
Yeah.
well, I mean, what gets me is they said in their little commercial that they always wanted people to have a handheld. Bullshit. Let's just call it for what it is.
Of course it's bullshit.
They're just trying to compete with the Steam Deck. That's all they're doing, and they're telling
jumping
people
on a bandwagon.
Yeah,
well, where's the hose at? They at the whole house.
Yeah.
The house of Ho. You know, they have a royal crest with, you know, spread legs. The House of Ho. And the House of Ho falls for anyone with some money.
but they're charging $1,000
or some meth.
They're charging $1,000 for this handheld. That's insane.
I think initially it's like 900, but the tax would put it over 1,000.
That's insane. You could buy a whole computer for that.
Yeah, the PlayStation did have some type of streaming thing. The thing is it would only stream. It didn't really do its own thing. Didn't really have any power behind it, and it seemed really half-assed, and it didn't really catch on. So yeah, they have, in a small way, attempted to jump on that bandwagon, but they have not committed to it.
I think he's talking about the PlayStation Portable. Remember that small little one?
Oh yeah. Well, he's talking about the Portal, which is the one I was just mentioning. But yes, they did have the PSP and the PS Vita, and those were decent machines. But that's been a good while now since, you know, they kind of left that market before that market really took off with the Switch and the Steam Deck. So yeah, since then they've not really committed to that market.
Well, from everything I've seen, the Steam Deck dominates that whole market, because I don't think there's anything that they could create that would match it.
The Steam Deck is not as powerful as some of these others that came out since it. You know, it's a little weaker, not a lot weaker, but just a little bit. But they support it. They support the right to repair. They're real good about you sending it in, them fixing it for you or replacing. They're real good about that. They are conducting their business so fucking well. Not to mention, games generally run better on the Steam Deck because there's less overhead, even though it's emulated, not technically emulated. It's a compatibility layer. Still can't say it right, but it runs better in general. Most games run better on it.
Yeah.
They're doing things just right. Plus, is open source, which means there's not as much commercial influences telling them, no, you got to do it like this and you got to do it like that. It's more of a free market. It's, even though it's a little less powerful, because they are doing everything right. They're conducting their business thoroughly and fairly.
Well, my curiosity about the Steam Deck.
Okay, R2, you never had a Vita. You should talk to your doctor about that. Sounds like a personal problem.
my curiosity, and the reason why I say that the Steam Deck seems to be a higher quality item is because you can do more with the Steam Deck than just play games. That's my whole thing.
Yeah. You can boot over to the KDE, or as it's more commonly known as Plasma Desktop now, and it works as a full computer. And these days, Linux can do virtually anything that Windows can do. There's a few minor exceptions, but virtually everything that Windows can do.
But yeah, I mean, that's my whole thing. I mean, if I'm going to spend that kind of money for something like that, I want it to do more than just one thing, Like a computer, you can do anything on a computer. You can watch movies or make art or anything, play games. It doesn't matter. Do work. It doesn't matter. That's why I want, like, if I was to buy a handheld system like that, I would want it to be able to do other stuff than just one thing, and that's it.
Yeah, I've got a Steam Deck, and there are times I used it exclusively. For a while there, I streamed on it. Right now, I'm using it to look at my security cameras. I use it every day, not just for games, but for a whole variety of uses. It's an incredible little machine.
Yeah,
I love the hell out of it. If I had one that ran Windows, it would still be useful, sure, but I would feel like, there's so much overhead. There's so much commercial shit they're constantly throwing in your face, and you got to abide by all these Microsoft Windows rules, and it just bogs it down like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I know. I'm using a Steam Deck right now on stream. It's what I stream on.
Yeah. He point the right way. Yeah, he doesn't have a regular PC. He only has a Steam Deck, and he does, puts it in a dock, has a big screen TV, does his gaming from it, does his streaming from it, does his music creation on it, watches shows on it, has his music on it, his audiobooks, what have you, everything from one little compact machine that you can just pick up and be like, fuck, I'm taking it with me. And hey, I'm going to play a game.
No hassle or anything. Just pick up and go.
To me,
I would get a Steam Deck. R2Lee2 says I would get a Steam Deck all day before I touched an Ally. Good. Great. Yeah, that's what I encourage.
Well, I mean, I had thought that if my PC ever bit the dust, I would just get a Steam Deck and use it and hook up a monitor and a keyboard and a mouse to it and use it instead of a full-blown computer. You
can hook up all your peripherals to it, but you can also touch screen, 2 big-ass trackpads work as a mouse, or the thumbsticks and the top buttons. You have without the peripherals, you have 3 different ways to control everything, and then you can add a keyboard and mouse. So I mean, it's however you want to do it. It's super easy.
Yeah. Myself, I'm still very curious about this Legion Go S. It has SteamOS on it, and it has more RAM and everything. I don't know. That's very interesting to me.
In the end, it gives you, like, gaming wise, it'll give you a little bit more frames per second. It's not a big leap. It's a small boost. once the numbers are crunched, it's not a big leap, but a small boost. They'll make a difference. Depends on, how into that you are. But yeah, a small boost. Of course, you don't get the big ass track pads or the 4 buttons on the back.
I know this one has like a small trackpad, but I don't think it has any buttons on the back.
Yeah, I mean the Steam Deck. I mean, they put passion into that project. They really did. It wasn't just some corporate farting some shit out,
Well, it shows. I mean, it's a good item, and it has.
But as they say, okay, Gabe Newell. I mean, he personally delivered the first few Steam Decks. I mean, the CEO of the company went to their homes and handed it to them. He was that passionate about it. He plays Final Fantasy MMO on a Steam Deck. But it's like many have pointed out, Gabe Newell will not live forever, and whoever inherits that company is they're gonna do all the stuff that corporations usually do, probably, and that will be a sad, sad day.
Yeah. Yeah, it will. I hope everybody has a good 4th. I know the UK doesn't celebrate the 4th of July, but everybody in America does.
They could just call it something else. It's like, let's blow some shit up. We got rid of those traitors,
Yeah.
But hey, it's been a good night for donations, so I particularly have to thank Valkyria Winter and Roadkill 101,
Yeah.
which Roadkill is a regular, Valkyria is a semi-regular. I'm very thankful. We need more people like them. They are passionate about the things we cover. They are passionate enough to show it in financial form, which is fucking great. It's not required, but it is much appreciated.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it helps out a lot.
Which before I am done with the show, which I don't know, we'll go on a few more minutes, but I will post again 2 different ways you can donate, 3 if you count Rumble. I really should have pinned the donation thing, but here we are.
Yeah.
We're late for that.
But here we are. Better late than never.
Yeah.
Where's your cat?
Okay.
What was that?
Where's your cats?
Why do you want to know?
Because I'm
He's
curious.
like, where your pute? He's like, oh.
I was just curious where they were.
I thought putty cat. I did.
Whenever I stream, this one's always right here. I'm not sure if the other one went. I think he went outside.
Well, that's like every time I stream, Big Shirley wants to jump in my lap, but she's gotten bigger now. She can't jump that good. And she gets mad, she starts to bark. But if you hear her barking tomorrow, she's not barking at anybody except for the Mexicans that work on the road crew because she thinks it's Dan calling Big Shirley.
I was like, for a moment, how are they going to hear the barking tomorrow? We're not going to be streaming tomorrow. But yeah, I think we're wrapping this one up early. Just here, there's a lot in the air, a lot going on. So yeah, I get harp on, but no, I think we're gonna wrap this one up a little early.
Yeah,
Let me find my skinny crack whore. Where is she? Okay. So this little clip I play every show. This bitch is desperate. I'm not that desperate. I mean, I want your viewership, and I appreciate your donations, and subscribe and like and all this other shit, right? But I let this little skinny bitch be this desperate, so I don't have to. I let her do it, right? So when you're looking around going, this person's live and this person's live, and you're hopping the streams, remember how desperate this bitch is. I mean, come on, have mercy on this poor thing.
Me! Choose me! Love me!
Do it for her.
Yeah, somebody buy her a cheeseburger.
Okay, anybody have anything to promote?
Well, you can always check out my YouTube channel. I haven't posted in a week or so, but I got a few videos up on there.
Well, the whole point of having a channel is you got to post every day or so.
Well, you can post the link in the Rumble chat. It allows links.
Okay. I'm gotta bring it up first.
Yeah, unfortunately, won't be here Thursday. I did good on donations tonight. I might make up for it, but I'm not sure at what point I will be back. But I will be back, and we will carry on because the noise must be brought. We are the noise bringers, the bringers of the noise.
Yep.
So yeah, even if you're on YouTube, you can see this. It is Maject, the majestic reject. We must bring the noise.
We must bring it nationwide.
So everybody out there, I want all of you to keep bringing the noise because we can't do it alone. I mean, we're here more for you than ourselves. This is not our show, it's your show. I mean, come on. What is a show with no one watching? It's a waste of time, isn't it? Now it's for you. So yeah, keep bringing the noise because us here, we're sure as far going to.
Yep.
It's like I've been told before. I know it's the name of an album, but that people tell me like, "Hey, your mouth was made for war." I'm like, oh, thank God. It's better made for war than for other things.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts now? Other than have a happy 4th, and if you're like in UK or something, you can still celebrate. Just celebrate. Pick your own reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
No.
It's been fun. I've had a great time tonight.
Yeah, it's been fun. I was just teasing. It's been a good show. I love the comment section. It was really funny, and I enjoyed it very much.
Okay, the two people that really had the hard hitting comments was Frag Monkey and R2 Lee 2. Those two, they really brought the noise tonight.
Yeah.
Happy Revolt Day. Yeah. Frag Monkey is one of those blamies. No, but anyway.
This one really loved the show.
Fucking weirdo. Well, you and the cat, it's both. Okay, but till next time, which may be like next week, but next Monday maybe, possibly. But till next time, yeah, keep bringing the noise, and we're out.
Bye, everybody.
Shoo-be-ba-ba-ba-ba-doo.